times, and that was by Ben Rutten. As we get underway from Amy Stadium, and a free kick sorted out very quickly, and it's going the way of Dean Solomon.
Well, he was in nice and early, hard. That's Mark Harvey's style. He would have mentioned first in at the ball and give yourself every opportunity.
Crowley driving the ball deep into the attacking zone. Pavlich, the target, has taken it very strongly and paid the mark.
Well, what a start. This is the start that Fremantle want to get in there. Probably a bit of a mismatch. I'm not sure if McGregor can go with Pavlich with Rutten out. They're going to try and isolate that, utilise. But what a mark. I mean, flying 3 deep there. He had to stand tall, Matthew Pavlich. That's why he's a superstar of the competition. To take a contested mark early, he's made his intentions. He's going to be in for a big afternoon.
45 goals this season, third on the ladder. And as I mentioned, just one goalless game in his last 40, and that was against Ben Rutten in round 5 at Subiaco, when Fremantle won by a point. It's a dream start for the Dockers, and Mark Harvey as Pavlich splits the centre.
Well, Mark Harvey's instructions in his team meeting would have been very simple, John. Just put your head over the football. Dean Solomon won that ball nice and hard, nice and early. That's why they recruited him, because he's a hard player. And when you're going to get rewarded, that's just the nature of the game today. If you put your head over it, get a free kick. First one in is going to get the free kick. And well done by the Fremantle. Good start. Their confidence would be certainly heightened by that, but Crowley on the end of it, kicking into very much an in for Matthew Pavlich. He's the leader, he's the skipper, and he certainly showed the way early so far.
The former South Australian, who the fans here in Adelaide would love to see back here next year, maybe with the Crows or Port Adelaide. A dream start for the Dockers, as Stefan Grun does the honours for us once more. Again, a tangle of arms and legs. It's going to be very tight in the clinches. Adelaide trying to work the ball out and going nowhere at the moment, and eventually umpire Grun has to come back in.
Well, he's given him every opportunity to try and win the football. It's going to be tight.
Warnock over the top of Hudson. Game in dispute. Tyson Edwards for the Adelaide Crows weaves some magic to find some space going forward. Perry coming out strongly. Couldn't mark it. Tawney taken high. No free kick there against Crowley. And again, a massive players. And we're going to see umpire Stephen McBurney come in.
Well, they're happy to let it go, Liam. The umpire's probably waiting for someone to dive on the football so they can force a free kick, but last two stoppages, they've let it go for a long time.
Hudson knocks it forward. Loose ball comes out. Opportunity for Thompson. Kicks into the man. Now it's Chris Knight slamming it onto the boot quickly, but it's a minor score.
Just that point, Jacko. Looking at the Fremantle side, prepared to push numbers into the Adelaide forward line. They're going to try and make it a scrap today. So I hope the umpires keep this up, because that's what you want. You want the players to be given every opportunity to get the ball out when there's plenty of numbers around the footy.
Josh Carr restarts. It's the Fremantle Dockers, an opportunity to clear from their defensive 50, and Peter Bell just outside the 50. Not a lot on offer for him at the moment. Forced to play on, going for distance, coming to the front of the pack. Nice mark taken by Warnock. Handball off quickly. Heath Black, who looks to centre half forward. Crows in best position here, will look to clear.
It's a beautiful kick.
Chance for Bach, who goes to the forward pocket. Perry wrestling there with Luke McFarlane, who now has the run of the ball. Perry comes back strongly. McFarlane can't find it at the moment, and that was deliberate out of bounds, and an obvious one picked out by the umpire as well.
Well, he didn't disguise that, Luke McFarlane, all that well. Probably just had to get the ball down the line a bit more, but he basically just backhanded that out, as you see here. Left hand, right, yeah, left hand, backhand.
Yeah. Really difficult spot to kick goals. We saw Boyle from Hawthorn slot one from out that side, but this is a tough spot to be kicking.
Welsh coming off 3 goals last week against St Kilda, and has missed to the near side.
He's got an opponent this afternoon, Scott Thornton. Now, we know Thornton's the player that missed that goal late in the game last week, which people say that if he had kicked it, maybe we'd have a different coach. Could be still Chris Connolly, but he's got a big job on Scott Welsh, who has got plenty of pace and is a very important forward for the Crows.
This is Ryan Crowley.
Well, this is what Adelaide want to do, just hold them up here. This next kick, this second kick out of defence is the important one for Fremantle this afternoon. If Adelaide are able to, bottleneck them and slow the game up, that's where Fremantle are going to find it hard. They just get out of position and play into Adelaide's hands.
You already see with Mark Harvey that he's thrown a few things around. He's got Roger Hayden starting forward. John Cock is his opponent. Now, that may be to quell the run of John Cock as well. He's a very dangerous player, Hayden.
Bell gets support of Josh Carr. Heath Black sold into trouble. Retreats even further to Grover. Back to Josh Carr. Handball over the top. Heath Black once more. Coming across the ground dangerously. Needing to be strong, Ryan Crowley, and took the mark.
He was very strong. Good contested mark. He's good overhead, Crowley, but Marty Mackner's a loose man in defence for Adelaide. Now, Fremantle have got to find his direct opponent and force him to man him up. Isolating, get him amongst the football, because if they just bomb it in, hoping to go to Pavlich every time or Tarrant, Marty Mackner will just come right into the game.
Stevens beats Tarrant to the ball. McLeod getting involved. Van Berlo lost it under pressure. Dodd with his problems. Gang tackle heavily into the ground and will have a bounce.
Marcus Drum, the young player playing his first game for the year, is playing across half forward. McLeod, his direct opponent. We see that good tackle by Van Berlo. Now, he'll be trying to get dangerous, but McLeod at the moment just allowing him to lead up the ground whenever he wants. He's happy to sit back across half-back and be that architect there.
Headland drives Fremantle forward again, and coming out to take the mark is Pavlich, dominating at the moment, moving it on quickly, looking for Hayden. John Cock into his back, has given away a free kick.
Now, that was an interesting bit of play. When Pavlich took the mark 60 metres out there for Fremantle, they had only inside 50, really. They had Roger Hayden, so he had plenty of space to work, but used his body really well then.
What he did, he'd led real early, and obviously Matthew Pavlich, every time he gets it, he looks to create or bring another player straight in, and he turned on an arc real quickly and saw a leading Hayden in his vision. So good play by Roger Hayden for leading in the ball carrier's vision.
Only kicked one goal this year. That was in round one against Port Adelaide, but he's got a second here as the Dockers open up a 10-point lead.
I like this move because that's the one player with Farmer out of the side they really do lack, which is that really explosive, quick forward, if you like, and Hayden plays that bill beautifully. Now, we know he's probably nearly in All-Australian form in the back pocket, Jacko. You and I have talked about this for a number of weeks.
Yep.
But this is a good, smart move by Mark Harvey. He's got him forward. He'll try and isolate him. John Cock's a pretty good matchup by the same token, but he gives them that bit of spark and that bit of pace that they really do lack at the moment. So I like it. I think it's a good move.
Dockers off to a dream start. We played 8 minutes from Amy Stadium and they lead it by 10 points. Goals to Pavlich and Roger Hayden. And smiles on the Freo bench at the moment as Hudson and Warnock go at it once more. This is Thompson retreating a little as Adelaide move inside their attacking 50. Perry out quickly, couldn't control it. Loose ball. Van Berlo got it from Chris Knights, goes quickly, but again Adelaide off the money. They've had more scoring shots than Fremantle, but trail by 9 points.
Well, they'll be very happy here. Fremantle, 9 minutes nearly gone, and Adelaide haven't got a major on the board yet. So just frustrating the Adelaide Crows a little bit, and they're just putting the pressure on them, saying, the pressure's
I saw that. He went on the line, Scotty Thornton. Now, this is the problem with a player that doesn't normally kick in, is that was actually noticeable. And the umpire right on the spot there. And, well, it's frustrating, and this would frustrate the coach too, because it gives the Adelaide Crows a chance to set up here, maybe work out a little set play. Fremantle will be trying to knock this through.
Flying high over the top, knocked through there by David Mundy. They concede the behind. Quick restart by the Dockers. Mundy takes the mark. Wants to take on Chris Knights. Able to elude the tackle. Fremantle look to build. Josh Carr got it from his brother Matthew.
Good vision.
Terrific. Looks into the corridor. Wanting to play on here. Marcus Drum, the first game, has coughed it up. And Tyson Edwards can build for Adelaide. Has Thompson in support. Unprotected goal square. He fires from 65. Can he get a good bounce? Unfortunately not for the Crows. It's hit the post and another minor score.
Just got to be a little bit patient there. Marcus Drum hasn't played for a while, wants to impress and do the right thing, but he played on and forced a turnover. Sometimes, I mean, slow the pace of the game down. You've still got possession of it, but you've got to find the right option.
You know what I liked about that bit of play, though, is that they deliberately kicked it to McLeod's man, and that was a good kick by Josh Carr. He could have blazed to Pavlich at half forward, who had two opponents. He had the loose player in Matner, as well as his direct opponent, McGregor. So I thought that was a smart kick. It's just he was, as you say, lacked a little bit of composure there, the young player.
Peter Bell going short. Crowley given some latitude, surveys his options. Now to the half-forward line where Pavlich is out on the move again. Matthew Carr to Josh Carr, back to Pavlich, around the corner. Scooped up by Marcus Drum. Pavlich involved once more. Free kick to Adelaide going to Brent Riley. Fans want a 50-metre penalty. Umpire having none of that. Almost 11 minutes played, term number 1. And Adelaide looking to build as Johncock comes out to the wing. Plenty of time to measure the kick. Has Perry on the charge, and he takes it on his chest.
Crowd's on, if he says he.
Inside the 50, McLeod will get it. Kicked his first goal of the season against Essendon, against St Kilda last week. And he has found his form, and he bags another.
Just great play by Andy McLeod. You can't buy experience. To be able to run through the corridor there, he rolled the dice, but it was a calculated risk, which he knew he was going to get the football. And that's just hard gut running through the centre of the corridor there. Came through, created himself as an option, and well done Ian Perry for spotting him up. But he's just got up here. You see at the left of the screen. There he goes. He runs into that space. No straight away to play on. Had a shot on goal here, and he's kicked them there before. Good play, Adelaide Crows.
Andrew McLeod with a little bit of magic to drag the Crows back to within a single point of the Dockers. Almost 12 minutes played in the opening turn. Have a history of tight contests. Ruck work done there by Marich, coming over the top of Daniel Gilmore, with a stalemate, and we'll need another bounce.
It's a cruel game, footy boys. Marcus Drum gave the free kick up on the halfback flank. McLeod took off, as you said, Jacko, and got on the end of it and made him pay. So poor old Marcus got the job on Andy McLeod all day.
Another free kick has been decided off the ball here, and it's going the Adelaide Crows way. Stephen Gruen rushing in.
Against Matty Carr, they're holding on to Goodwin.
Goodwin to the half-forward line, where Perry is led again. Handball over the top to Tawney, put him under pressure. Rode the tackle, came up with the ball. Josh Carr joining in for Fremantle. Long hand pass, it was a good one to Gilmore. He has a man on. It's Dean Solomon.
He was ashore here, but they got Pavlich inside 51 out with his direct opponent.
Coming back to fill the hole. Brave work from Matner. Just got a fingertip to it. Otherwise, Pavlich was going to take it on his chest as Goodwin works out wide, has put his teammate under pressure, but he was equal to the challenge. McLeod running off half-back. Winning a good shepherd as well there from Chris Massey. Now Bock, who leads McFarlane. Trying to create some space. Intelligent ball inside for Riley. Couldn't handle it. Adelaide still with a chance, though. This is Doughty unloading from 45, going long, and Doughty has put Adelaide in front for the first time in the match.
Well, just an important bit of play by Heath Black on that outer half-forward. He's about to intercept the ball, but he went after the body. He had to actually take the line of the football, and the rebound from Andrew McLeod is already a notable danger for Fremantle already here, but just had to win that hard ball out on that outer wing.
Great running by also Brent Riley. He was involved at half-back originally for the switch of play. Pushed forward to half-forward and got the handle out to Doughty, or Doughty I should say, so very important play by Riley.
Only the second goal of the year from Michael Doughty. He was top 10 in the best and fairest last year. And Adelaide with back-to-back goals after the Dockers had scored the first two. Marich and Gilmore at it again. Goodwin went to ground. So too Matthew Carr. This is Dodd. Quick handball to Peter Bell, who found some space. Disposal let him down, though. It eludes Pavlich. Adelaide defence with some work to do. John Cock, cool in a crisis to McGregor, who brings it out wide for Edwards. Lead is on from Burton. Edwards measures the kick. Showed a lot of it to Michael Johnson, but Burton strong in the air. He's looking for the lead of Ian Perry. Had 2 to beat. Dodd came back. Didn't have eyes for the ball. Perry trying to keep it alive, unable to do so. It's out of bounds.
The warning sign for Mark Harvey is that Adelaide are starting to get a bit of momentum and run off that half-back line. Fremantle just a little bit disorganised when going forward. They're just looking Pavlich all the time. They've got to find another option bar Pavlich.
Gilmore is holding the ball after he took it out of the ruck and was tackled.
That's the rule. So if you're going to take it on and be brave and take the ball out of the air from the throw-in, you need to make sure you dispose of it correctly.
Well, in the back 50, you've got to be a little bit smarter than doing, oh, there's a bit harsh. Well, he did take possession of it, and he lost possession of it, and that's interpretation of the rule. In a game like this, any time when you're in the back line contesting a boundary throwing, it's Russian roulette if you're going to pluck it out of the air.
Kicked a goal here 2 weeks ago against Hawthorn, but only has 4 for the season. Good when he tugs it to the near side. Adelaide lead by 6.
It's important to note, though, that he's not a noted ruckman, Daniel Gilmore. He's really a backup ruckman. He's not a super tall player, really. He does a good job for Fremantle. Maybe a little bit of an experience then, but it can cost you when you've got a player like Goodwin having a shot at goal inside 50. He didn't put it away for Fremantle's sake.
Here's Gilmore. Got it from Duffield. Pavlich making a strong lead, but he's going shorter. Hazelby. He's going to switch play across ground as well.
Plenty of numbers in that centre part of the ground.
McFarlane.
Not going to be too many loose players here.
Now Peter Bell. Handball inboard to Dodd, who lost control of it, and Nathan Bott said thank you very much. Adelaide stream forward. Perry leads the charge, needs a kind bounce, running onto it. Ian Perry couldn't control it, and it's through for a minor score.
This is what the Crows do so well, is that they load the numbers through the centre corridor and make the team, the opposition team, which is Fremantle on this occasion, really try and hit up targets, forcing them to stop running in the finish, but they're really clogging up that centre part of the ground in between the 50s.
Johnson out wide, looking for Tarrant. Had 3 to beat, but takes the mark. He's been important for Fremantle this year, Chris Tarrant.
This kick is the important one for Fremantle. This is where they've got to be patient and deny Adelaide possession of the football.
Tarrant deep. Matthew Carr was the target. Couldn't find it. McLeod leads the charge now. 2 to beat. Back to John Cox. Stepped out of bounds according to the boundary umpire.
Got a little beard happening there.
New hairdo as well.
Got the helmet strap. A bad look. Jacko, you would have worn that in your time.
Couldn't grow any facial hair, me, mate.
Everyone calling for holding the ball. Umpire Stephen Grun having none of it, though. Well, the Adelaide Crows players have put on a self-imposed curfew. Everyone at home by 11 o'clock. He's got a bit of time on his hands now. Andrew McLeod.
Well, it's the business time of the year. There's no doubt you've got to make every sacrifice you can.
Hazelby to Matthew Carr. Kicks around the corner. Under pressure. It looks good. And the Fremantle Dockers hit back.
Well, that was an important win by Fremantle. When they did go forward then, they were able to hold the ball in there by that boundary throwing. From the boundary throwing, they could reassess, start again and create something. And Peter Bell, I mean, he's always amongst the thick of it. Got the ball out, Matty Card. It's a good actual goal that for Fremantle because Adelaide had about 5 or 6 scoring shots in between Fremantle's last one and looked like they were really going to assert themselves on this game. But yeah, they're back within a point and making a game of it.
Matthew Carr's career best is 3 goals in a match. It came against Adelaide, round 16, 2003. It's an early one here for the Dockers to steady their ship, but Adelaide lead by a point as we approach time on term number 1. And the Crows work it out of the centre once more. Heroic stuff from Crowley going back with the ball. Has the support of Solomon, who's got 2 loose teammates up on the centre wing. Gilmore to Heath Black. Generally a good user of the ball, and that was no exception. Headland spills the chest mark. Taken down strongly. No whistle forthcoming. Hit Dodd. Trying to shake the tackler. Duffield finds Heath Black from 55. Squaring the ball for Pavlich. Oh, what a grab. Played on, though, and now has got problems as he's wrapped up by McGregor. Hazelby leads the charge for the Dockers. One way, back the other against Chris Knights. Michael Johnson going short for Bell. One grab, two, claims the mark. And Peter Bell will have an opportunity.
Well, Liam, it's going to be a day for Fremantle. They've got to take their chances. They had a good passage of play here just in front of their dugout where they 3 or 4 contested possessions they had to win, but Matty Pavlich was unlucky there. He slipped over, but good vision there by Michael Johnson. Looked inside. Peter Bell taking the mark. Should make the distance here.
18 goals, 8 this season at 75% plus. He's been reliable, Peter Bell. And the fans behind the goals like it as well as Fremantle retakes the lead.
When you're travelling to state, Lee Colbert said it before the bounce, you really need to get off a good start. And look, Fremantle have done that. The last 2 goals really important. As you say, that Adelaide really wasted a lot of opportunities in this first quarter. Probably kicking to the aid of a slight breeze, not a lot out there, but 9 scoring shots to the Crows to 4 Fremantle. But it's only 8-7 inside 50s in favour of Adelaide. So they're holding on pretty well. Good finish by a player who's, well, just behind Pavlich is their most important player in Peter Bell.
Peter Bell celebrating his 300th AFL appearance. Life membership does it in style as the Dockers retake the lead. Back-to-back goals from Bell and Matthew Carr. Hudson back into the ruck, but it went straight to Hazelby. Quickly onto the boot. McLeod leads the chase at the moment. Had trouble finding it initially. Now looking to shake Tarrant. Comes back to the wing. Nice pass to find Chris Massey. Over the top, Massey. He's bringing in Richard Douglas. Started on the bench, Douglas, going short. Finds Riley. As the Crows build again, Thompson driving it long to the goal front. Coming across, it was Solomon, couldn't handle the mark. Dodd appealing for the free kick, goes unwhistled. This is Welsh, lost it under pressure. Bodies going in hard from the Dockers. Matthew Carr spitting out of trouble, got away from Burton, and now Peter Bell in space again.
Drum on the wing.
Heads in that direction. Marcus Drum takes the mark. Handball inside for Thornton. Had to get it off quickly. Back to Drum. Over the top, Thornton's available again. A slow hand pass, though. He and Drum combine once more. Warnock, not his forte. Goes to ground. And we'll have a bounce.
Well, they're running hard offensively, Fremantle. They're trying to break that line down where Adelaide make their play. They get their rebound going, but their skill level just let them down on that occasion.
Warnock, in fact, Michael Johnson wins the tap. Adelaide get it to Knights. Lucky to escape. Bock on the lead. Getting treatment from McFarlane. Free kick goes Adelaide's way.
Just a stretch of the jumper.
5 free kicks to 2 Adelaide's way. And they get the least free kicks of any team in the competition, so they'll be happy with that equation as they go forward once more. And out on a strong lead, the mark's been taken by Ivan Maric.
Well, he's played a bit in the ruck. He's mainly a ruckman, but he can push forward, Big Maric. And that was an important mark. They really need to just settle a little bit here, Adelaide. Fremantle in the last 5 or 6 minutes have really taken all the running. It was actually a good kick by Thompson. He had Burton long, but he hit up the right target in the finish. You've got to make the players like Grover, you've got to make those guys accountable to their direct opponent, and that's what you do by hitting up leading targets.
Played only 2 games this season. Maric has kicked goals in both of them, and now he's made it 3 in a row as Adelaide go back in front.
Just a good response by Adelaide. As you mentioned before, Liam, Fremantle were dominating 5 or 6 minutes of play there, but just didn't capitalise to hurt Adelaide enough, and Adelaide just went forward. Scotty Thompson, as we see in picture there, called Manic up to lead at him and just let in the ball carrier's vision, and that's what you want from your leading forwards. Nice goal too.
'21-year-old Ivan Maric. Now with 4 goals this season in 3 games. Getting the job done for the Crows, who lead by a point. Already 3 lead changes in the match. Still more than 4 minutes to play in this opening term. And umpire Stephen Grun will come in once more.
Adelaide's still got a man behind the play in their back line there.
Hudson with the tap. Van Berlo couldn't find it. Warnock, good second effort to Duffield, who looks to the goal square. Nice job from the Adelaide Crows initially. Matner with his hands full now after McGregor had stifled the attack initially.
Well, Fremantle's loose player is being prepared to play in the midfield. He's pushing up onto the ball rather than sitting in the hole for the Crows. Still got an extra number in the midfield. It's working all right too. They're getting a lot more of the ball.
Crowley to Mundy, and now they find Marcus Drum. His first game of the year, and he's got it over the line, and Fremantle take the lead again.
Well, you kick a goal and come straight to the bench to have a rest. But as Heath Black goes back on, but good play by Fremantle. 2 times that they've kicked goals from stoppages deep in their forward line is what they need to do, is either take possession of it or create a stoppage, because Adelaide are renowned for their great offensive run out of their back 50, and they can just have enough numbers around the ball, bottleneck Adelaide a little bit up, because they've got the talent, they've got the players who can skillfully execute, and with 5 straight, certainly kicking straight today.
Marcus Drum gets just the second goal of his short career. His other came round 15 last year against Collingwood. And the seesawing affair from Amy Stadium. Hudson got it to Edwards. He needed help provided by Goodwin, now Van Berlo and Massey. High ball, not doing the forwards any favours, coming out strongly. Welsh unable to mark. Crowley found it though with the support of McFarlane. Mundy, now Thornton with a bounce. Runs outside the 50. Has open men out on the wing, but may elect to go further. Support from Matthew Carr. Over the top of McManus. And Andrew McLeod there to mop up for Adelaide. And the Crows will look to rebound through Tyson Edwards. Matner running off the half-back line. Now coming to the centre, he has Massey and Thompson. It's Massey who takes the mark. Meters in the clear. Now he's got problems. Dances around Des Headland. From 55, unloads to the goal front. Grover supplies the spoil. Dowdy had it, then lost it when the goal beckoned. And he's shut down by the Fremantle defenders.
Good play there by Brett Burton. He was 1 against 3. It wasn't a great kick inside 50. And the competitiveness of Brett Burton meant that when the ball hit the ground, they just needed to be a bit cleaner. It was Dowdy on that occasion. Dowdy, I've got to get his name right. Dowdy. On that occasion, he just couldn't get it in the crumbing position, but good play by Burton.
Warnock again takes it out of the ruck and buys some valuable real estate for the Dockers, but Goodwin leads the charge for Adelaide. With a bounce, it's a good Shepherd. Now Matner joining in again. He's been busy in his return. Good smother from Matthew Carr. Loose ball grabbed by Heath Black, who drives it again out of the danger area, but Adelaide with numbers, and McLeod looks his options up. Pass though, cut out by good defence again by Ryan Crowley. Out to Matthew Carr. Has Mundy available.
Well, with under 2 minutes in the quarter, Mark Harvey might be just happy to just put the cue in the rack here. And a bad result against a slight breeze. Fremantle with the lead,
having had half as many scoring shots. Heath Black with it now.
Yeah, I think they're going to try and work this clock down. It is hard to do. A minute 30 doesn't sound like a lot. But unless they go and man up Carr, Black, I should say, they'll just keep kicking it to him.
Now Tyson Edwards obliges.
Thornton will be on here in a sec.
Thornton takes the mark.
This is where Fremantle play themselves into trouble sometime. I know there was a minute 30 or however long you did say, Liam, but you'd still like to see them attacking. That's how they've played for 28 minutes of this game, attacking football. This I don't like, because you force yourself, you make a turnover here, drop your guard, a lapse in concentration. You just invite the opposition to really hurt you in the last, in time on period.
I don't mind it, but you've only got yourself to blame if you turn it over. That's the problem. And that's where I think the supporters get frustrated, is when you're forced then, and they man up your direct opponent, you're forced to kick down the line. This lets Adelaide in, and that means they've got one last shot at perhaps having a shot at goals.
Goodwin to Hudson. Van Berlo gets it next in a confined space. Manufactures a kick forward. Fans wanted a free kick for the Adelaide Crows. Not going that way, though. Gilmore got it off quickly and needed to the run of Solomon. Pavlich doubling back to the goal square. Solomon heads in that direction. Now he has two to beat Pavlich. Couldn't get a run at it. Scott Stevens release and pressure to McLeod. His handball misses the target, though. 10 seconds to play.
The follow-up.
And Adelaide look to run it out of the danger zone.
Andrew McLeod has had 8 possessions across half-back. He's now got McManus as the half-forward flanker, and that's the modern game, isn't it? The architects across half-back, like the McLeod types, they have a defensive forward on them. And after young Drum started the job there, it's now McManus, the most experienced player on the ground for the Dockers. They'll be happy with this, though, John.
A very entertaining first term concludes here at Amy Stadium, and straight kicking from the Fremantle Dockers has given them a 5-point edge. We saw 4 lead changes. Fremantle getting off to a brilliant start, kicking the first 2 goals before Adelaide put their noses in front. But at the end of one, the Fremantle Dockers, under their caretaker coach Mark Harvey, enjoy a 5-point lead. Fremantle 5 goals straight, 30. Adelaide 3-7-25. We'll have more for you from Amy Stadium right after this.
My wife actually told me one day, she says, if you spent so much time at Bunnings, why don't you go and get a job there? And guess what I did?
4-litre Dulux wash and wear, only $61.90. Heavy-duty multifold ladder, $149. Craft Tech Jumbo Toolbox, $69.94. Porcelain tiles, just $19.93 per square metre. If you happen to find a cheaper price on a stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%.
People will be very surprised at the range that we have.
Bunnings Warehouse.
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
That thing's cool.
Have I told you I'm going back to uni?
Really?
So when do we celebrate?
Yeah, when's the going away party?
You don't have to give up your job to be a uni student online. Visit Open Universities Australia, open.edu.au.
Put that back.
Good night, love.
No. This party was just... Ugh. There was like a million beautiful girls and only like 2 guys. There was this huge screen showing the football and a whole pig on a spit. And then all the girls started wrestling each other in their bikinis.
Can anyone get in?
The party. Jim Beam. The bourbon.
Mate, RSEA is your one-stop safety shop, and when it comes to safety, why risk it? You'll find Australia's largest range of safety products available under one roof, in store right now, all at everyday low prices and unbelievable discounts. Like U-Butte high-vis polos, just $9.95. Oliver High-Test safety boots, a crazy $29.95. And a huge range of cat workwear and footwear. RSEA! Your one-stop safety shop.
This NRL Sunday, the Tigers and the Warriors whip up a frenzy live on Fox Sports.
And look out, everybody!
At 2, the 2 go toe-to-toe at Campbelltown Stadium. Will Whit keep on kicking, or can the Tigers take him out?
Shut the gate! He can motor this kid!
And at 6, South Centre Surly Taylor take on the top end. Can the Cowboys survive with Smith out of the saddle?
Don't go anywhere!
Get into live league across Australia from 1:30 Eastern on the home of Sunday footy, Fox Sports.
He was a destiny politician.
10 years ago, he led his party to a landslide victory with promises and a vision for the future.
The possibility that we may live our entire lives without going to war. We are doing what is right.
A 3-part series with exclusive interviews, the award-winning journalist Michael Cockerell looks back at Tony Blair's premiership. Blair, the inside story begins this July on BBC World.
When I step onto the field as a Wallaby, I certainly take my family, my wife, my parents.
My mum and dad who were out in the bush in West Wallen, the West Wallen Weevils and country rugby.
Downlands College in Toowoomba. That's where I started playing rugby union, and the old coach Peter Healy there, he's really got me started, and you think about those sort of people when you finally get there.
The Rugby World Cup, September on Fox Sports.
And when I step on the field,
I'll take you.
Welcome back to AAMI Stadium, where the Fremantle Dockers have won the opening quarter for the first time in a month, as we go down to their defensive coach, Kelly O'Donnell, who's standing by with Lee Colbert.
Kelly, great start to come to AAMI Stadium and kick 5 straight goals. Perfect.
Yeah, the accuracy's been good. It's a very it's a high-intensity game, so there's a lot of running involved. We've just got to make sure that under fatigue that we use the ball well. But no, the spirit's been terrific, hitting in nice and hard. So against a quality side on their home deck, it's been a good start. And your structures seem to be standing up. You've got McLeod trying to isolate him as much as you can, make him play as a defender, and also John Cock in the goal square. Yeah, you've got to respect those guys. They're terrific players, and the two players that have got the jobs there have been good for us. But it's only the start of the game, so we've got 3 quarters to go. Thanks for your time, mate. Thanks.
Kelly O'Donnell there with Lee Colbert. Here are the numbers through the first term, and single goal kickers Dowdy and McLeod for Adelaide, along with Marich, Pavlich, Hayden, Matthew Carbell and Drum. Goal kickers for Fremantle, who are doing a little better than my voice at the moment.
Oh, get this man a soother, Jacko. He is, look at these stats here. Yep. Uncontested possessions, Fremantle, 37 more uncontested possessions and 28 more marks, pretty much on the uncontested situation. They've had a lot more numbers through the midfield. Adelaide playing that loose man in defence.
This is the time now for Fremantle to get consistency, back-to-back quarters. Chris Connolly mentioned it all year, that they've been in games for 2 or 3 quarters, and then they have a lapse of concentration. Now, the players know where they're at. They've got off to a good start. They're winning a lot of the possession count. Now they've got to put it for the next 2 or 3 quarters consistently, and if they do that, they can come away with a win here.
Underway, term number 2. Hudson with the tap to Chris Knight. Goodwin quickly to Brent Riley as Adelaide go out wide. Van Berlo with Johnston to contend with. Peter Bell gets the crumbs, read it intelligently. Now needs to help out Johnson. Van Berlo comes again. Hedlund getting involved as well. That looked like a throw. It's holding the man. Advantage paid, and Fremantle get clear. Hazelby, slow hand pass for Solomon. Brought him into traffic, but got it back to Hazelby, who now drives long to the pocket. John Cock goes the spoil, and it's out of bounds.
It's good play already by Fremantle inside 50, and they've got a stoppage. And from 2 stoppages in the first quarter, they created in goals. But this is where they've got to continue to put the pressure on Adelaide. John Cock, McLeod force them to be accountable for their direct opponent in this situation.
Hudson, front position once more. Quick kick out of there by Hazelby. Shirley had it, then lost it. Door opens for Roger Hayden, tried to keep it alive, and it's helped over the line.
Shirley's got the big job on Peter Bell this afternoon, and Peter Bell 9 possessions already in this game, and Shirley yet to touch the ball, so you'd say a win so far to Bell. Needs to be a bit on the counter-attack. If you're going to play on a player like Peter Bell, you do need to hurt him when your team's got the ball, and with no possessions in a quarter a bit. I don't think that's working at the moment.
Adelaide inside their attacking 50. Bott couldn't take the mark. Now he's got his hands full, wrapped up in the tackle, tried to force his way out of it, but going nowhere. McFarlane doing a good defensive job. Advantage paid. Heath Black goes to Josh Carr, running through the centre of AAMI Stadium.
Yeah, division.
Brings it out wide now and finds Pavlich. McManus leads to the pocket, but Pavlich tries to centre the ball. Adelaide with numbers here, and Goodwin with the assistance of John Cock, looking to release some pressure. Edwards back for Goodwin, and out wide they go and find Ian Perry a long way from the forward line. Poor pass picked off by Solomon.
Oh, they've got Hayden on.
Burton comes out for Adelaide. He's wrapped up. Likewise Dodd. Fremantle maintain possession though. It's Heath Black going back, looking for the support of Warnock. Long kick, ill-directed. Goodwin spoiled by Matthew Carr. This is Tawney with John Cock in support. Riley. Adelaide looking to build.
Kick.
Nice pass, finds Thompson.
Burton's on in the square.
Plays on quickly, heads in that direction. The Birdman flies, couldn't come down with the ball. Off the ground, Bock. Only as far as Warnock, though, who has the support of Thornton. Out wide, Grover. Long hand pass. Hazelby with time. Comes inboard for Hedlund.
Pretty quiet, there's Headland, just the one possession. He's been in really good form, Headland.
The back of the pack, mark taken here by Hazelby. He read that well.
It's just good hard running by Paul Hazelby. And he got that ball to Headland out on that outer wing, and then just sheepishly got himself inside the 50. And is a good overhead mark, Paul Hazelby, and also a good set shot on goal. So wanting himself getting into the game, he's had an indifferent month. Started on the bench today and certainly had some good form earlier on in the year.
Hasn't kicked a goal since round 7, only 4 for the season. Got plenty of that, but it's good enough as Fremantle extend their lead.
Well, Jacko, you summed it up well. He started on the bench. He's a player that hasn't been in great form. He's now coming to the bench again after that goal, but he's had it 9 times already, which after, as you say, starting on the bench is a pretty good start. He's an important player, Paul Hazelby. The game has changed in the last couple of years. He's a very good in and under player, but this is one of his strengths. Now, he's very good overhead. He's not a tall player, but he's got great hands. And if he can start getting forward and kicking some goals as well, he becomes a very important midfielder.
Almost 5 minutes played, turn number 2. Fremantle with a game-high 12-point lead. Hazelby to the bench. And Adelaide with some work to do. Warnock the tap. Wrapped up Josh Carr.
Both sides have got the matchups pretty well right across the ground. There's not a player really dominating. Heath Black's been a very good player for Fremantle, had it already 12 times, I should say. But Brent Riley, his direct opponent's had it 7 times, but has been important in a couple of build-ups for the Crows. So I think both clubs at the moment, or both coaching staffs, will be pretty happy with the way their teams are structured up. Not a lot in the game. Inside 50s, 16 Adelaide, 14 Fremantle. Just a bit of poor kicking by the Crows, meaning the Dockers are in front.
Headland wrapped up. So too Welsh, going nowhere against Thornton.
Just keep an eye on, boys. Matty Carr's trying to get to Goodwin, and Goodwin's being very smart. He's going to Josh Carr, so it's ring-a-ring-a-rosy at the moment.
Yeah, Thompson will be the loose player, Colby, if that's the fallout of that.
Shirley looking for Burton, who nudges Dot in the back. Now found some space, thought about the pass, elects to go for goal, and it was a good option as the Birdman gets Adelaide back in it.
Well, Dodd just had to be a little bit smarter there. He just had to be on the goal side of him. And, I mean, Burton, he's just a smart player. As this kick comes out, he just got probably ball watching Dodd here. He's just touch and feel, but wrong side. Got to force him to the boundary. Don't let him get goal side of you. And, I mean, the Birdman, once he gets in that position, he loves to run the footy and usually finishes off good. And certainly a goal that they needed. So, good close game here.
First goal for Brett Burton, an injury interrupted season for him. He's already missed 5 games, 2 goals last week against St Kilda, and bobbing up early here to get Adelaide back to within a single kick of the lead. Hudson for Edwards, coming in Brent Riley through the centre of the ground to the half-forward line. Burton gets it from Perry. Looks to go short. The lead from Bock. Appeared to be nudged in the back. No whistle forthcoming. And Fremantle try to work it to Grover. Against Bock. Grover intelligently around the boundary line, but Chris Knights reels it in for Adelaide. Has Edwards available. Plays on quickly for Hudson.
The full ground switch is on here. Now, if they can go open the vision up.
Birdman.
To the goal front, loose ball. Thompson off the carpet, gets the job done, and we are tied at 37.
Well, that just sat up that ball in for Scotty Thompson. It was like a place kick. But good again, good pressure by Burton. The long ball come in. I'm not sure if that was a great kick by Chris Knights, but look at Burton's competitiveness, and watch the way this just sits up. Perfect. That's exactly how you want it. You want to kick the ball off the ground. This guy has become a really important player for the Adelaide Crows. He's become one of the premier midfielders in the competition, Scott Thompson. Really important, scores level, pretty good game of footy.
The first goal since round 12 for Scott Thompson. Number 11 for the year. It's 37 apiece here. We've played 8 and a bit minutes, term number 2. Hudson and Warnock square off once more.
Dowdy now the direct opponent to Black. He's the leading possession winner on the ground.
Goodwin farms out the handball. Hudson got it to Edwards. Now Knights wrapped up in the tackle. Strong work from Fremantle's Josh Carr.
I've enjoyed the Warnock-Hudson contest here. Young Robbie Warnock, 8 possessions. He's had 6 hit-outs to Benny Hudson's 6 possessions, 10 hit-outs. So he's holding his own pretty well here. Good play by Robbie Warnock.
Dowdy for Adelaide. Quick kick out to the wing. Chase is on. McManus for Fremantle. Leads Van Berlo. Excellent tackle from Van Berlo. Goes again against Crowley. Mundy did that well to McManus. And Fremantle bring it back to Heath Black. Warnock calling for the ball in the middle of the ground. Welsh arrives late.
Did well, Welsh.
Hudson overran it. Ball knocked free. Hudson there again. Now it's Tawney wrapped up in a tackle. Gets a handball away for Chris Knights.
Oh, well done. Well done, young Van Berlo. And a good handball too.
Knights looking for the lead of Burton.
Well, it's good play there by Adelaide, but Desi Headland, he's just trying to get in the game there. He's just a little bit overzealous in the centre of the ground there, forcing that free kick, as we see all the Adelaide players get over and just congratulate the good work there through the midfield. But just Desi, he just had to be a bit better at his approach there. A bit frustrated, wants to get in the game. He's been in good form, but this is where it's hurting now. They had back-to-back goals, Adelaide, and now they're going for 3 in a row. And this man is starting to get in the game a fair bit.
Burton comes in for Adelaide, looking to give them the lead, and the Crows have kicked 3 in a row.
He's the missing link here, Brett Burton, in their forward line structure. When he's up and going, he is an outstanding player. He's a hard matchup. Very well done, Van Berlo, putting his body in. And I like the handball too. Got on with the job pretty quickly, which makes it easier for the forward line. Worries me that I look at Stephen Dodd. He's wearing zinc cream.
It is sunny out there, mate.
It's 12 degrees at the moment in Adelaide. I'm not sure you need the zinc on, but he is such an important player, Burton. He's a beauty.
3 goals to 1 in this term. Adelaide back in front by 6 points.
Colby, who's winning that matchup? We're talking the battle of the coaches here with the Carr boys and Goodwin.
Yeah, look, centre bounce, obviously, Goodwin's just playing his normal centre bounce role, but after that, he's very clever at what he does. Keep an eye on him.
Dowdy. Now Thompson for Adelaide with a bounce. Trying to survey his options. Drives it long, congested area. Backing back, Dodd couldn't catch it. Solomon's hand pass. Now McFarlane to Grover. In turn, Warnock. As the Dockers run it through traffic to Matthew Carr. His kick too deep for McManus. Coming out, Tarrant combines well. McManus just buying some real estate. John Cock will try and track it down. Kept it alive to McLeod, but it's over now.
Well, warning signs here for Fremantle. Adelaide kicked 3 in a row, and Mark Harvey's identified that. He's shifted the captain in the middle of the ground just to win possession of the ball and just steady the ship a little bit as Matthew Pavlich now goes back into the goal square.
Gilmore at the back. Taps it to Heath Black. Bell around the corner. Pinpoints the pass. To find Gilmore. Sold the dummy from 55. Unloads for the Good Shepherd. And the Dockers tie it away again.
Well, great response there by Fremantle because it was a very important time of the game. Adelaide kicked 3 goals in a row. Just a good stoppage there in the end. I mean, Shawnee Mack, he got the real estate, managed to get the ball out of bounds, but they've got some good goals today, Fremantle, from stoppages inside their forward 50. And young Gilmore there, he can kick a ball a long way, and it's good to see. He had the poise, sold the dummy, got back onto his preferred left foot, and good shepherd in the goal square there by Dodd to get them that goal. So good play by Fremantle back in this game.
Daniel Gilmore, just 189 centimetres, undersized for a ruckman, but getting the job done. Here he is with a tap. Tried again. Goodwin. Handball out. Hazelby lost it. Under pressure. This is Massey. Trying to ride the tackle from Peter Bell, who was strong.
Well, they've answered the challenge here a little bit, Fremantle. Intensity is certainly lifted by both sides.
Marich looking for the tap against Gilmore. Wrapped up in the tackle is Thompson.
Simon Goodwin, just sensational. I just can't take my eyes off him at the moment. He keeps going to Carr, and that's Josh Carr. Matthew Carr's trying to get to him, but he's playing unselfish footy, and they're getting a little bit frustrated by it too. A great leader, Simon Goodwin.
Third man up, Edwards, and goes again. Been a fierce contest so far. No more than 10 points has separated these teams at any stage. And 14 and a bit minutes played here in the second quarter. We're tied at 43. Remembering the last time these two sides played round 5, the Dockers won by a point with 30 seconds to go.
Now, that last goal was from this stoppage here. Now, the Adelaide players having a bit of a snooze there. They hit it against the opposition's goal there, Fremantle, and opened the whole forward structure up. That was a brilliant bit of play. Good stoppage work that Jacko quite rightly mentioned earlier. But they all went to the wrong side. Well, they all went forward of the ball, which, you know, Fremantle hitting the ball backwards away from their goal. Just set it up beautifully.
Josh Carr wins a free kick to Thornton.
He's been good, Thornton. Plenty of options of running off that half-back line. He's been amongst the possessions too. That's his 10th now.
This is Gilmore. Too deep for Pavlich. Getting back McLeod. Has numbers in support. The disposal was poor. It's picked off here by Tarrant.
He's got Pavlich one out in the goal square.
Going shorter than that, though. And he finds Heath Black.
He's going to go back and have a shot here. Heath Black has been their leading possession getter. He's coming up for possession number 15. He's had a couple inside 50. As we mentioned last week, back to a bit of form, and as he gets going, he's one of their premier runners off that half-back line. Breaks the lines, penetrates the inside 50s, and a very valuable player. So, opportunity to really hurt the opposition here by kicking a goal.
It's a beautiful kick.
Black comes in. He likes the look of it, and the Dockers retake the lead.
You talk about players that get plenty of the ball in the midfield. There are players from an opposition team that you don't want to get big numbers, and he's one. Heath Black's one because he's such a beautiful user of the ball. As you said, Jacko, 15 possessions already, but the finish, I mean, that was as good a kick as you could. A set shot from 50, never looked like missing. And he's the sort of player, Heath Black, that if he has 25 possessions in a game of footy, you get maximum output. And that was a wonderful finish and an important goal because they've just rested the ascendancy here a little bit from Adelaide in the last few minutes.
Runner-up in the best and fairest 2001 at Fremantle. A good player, Heath Black, and steadies the ship here for the Dockers. They led by 5 at quarter time. They lead by 6, approaching the 17-minute mark, term number 2.
Yeah, that very husky voice going here.
He's going well.
Johnny boy.
McLeod. You might have to step in, Colby.
Well, mate, the voice in the crowd struggling as well. There's only about, feels like there's about 1,500 people here. They're hardly saying a word.
Bell shakes Marich.
Did well, Bell.
Now Gilmore, who's been busy around the corner. Coming out, Tarrant against Stevens, who did a good job. Kick over the top.
Kicked it.
And Michael Johnson has added another.
Well, the good thing about here with Fremantle is Adelaide threw a challenge to them. And in previous games this year where they've been criticised, they haven't been able to respond. 3 goals in a row, and now they responded to it by kicking 3 themselves. They've certainly come to play, there's no doubting that, but they're putting their best foot forward, taking their chances, but their decision-making around the ground, that's what's been crucial, not, turning the football over and allowing the opposition or inviting the opposition to capitalise on your mistakes. So the mistakes are down, Fremantle are playing good footy.
There's Mark Harvey, Robert Shaw in the coach's box for Fremantle. They lead it by 12. Approaching time on term number 2. Gilmore with a tap for Josh Carr. Handball goes astray. Dowdy feeds Thompson. From 65, he unloads to the goal square. Perry couldn't mark it. Grover, head down, working hard with McFarlane. They'll be happy to rush it through.
Just the ball use of Fremantle at the moment. They've been so efficient. They've got plenty of the footy. We know that. They've had more of the ball than Adelaide, but inside 50, when they take it inside, they've just been so sharp. 9 goals won to 6-8, so 4 more scoring shots than the Crows, but just the ball use inside 50 from Fremantle has been spot on.
Tarrant on a long lead, gets it from Matthew Carr. Johnson leads to the pocket. The defender now up in attack. Brave from Marriage to fill the hole. McGregor shut down by Josh Carr. Pavlich trying to run onto it. Adelaide trying to scramble the ball. Stevens to Goodwin. Back to Stevens. Marriage. Riley over the top. Dowdy gave it up, and now Fremantle will have a sneak penalty. Works it out for Gilmore.
Just their intent. I mean, it's just first class, Fremantle. Obviously, there's another 8 minutes to go until half-time, but if they can continue this intensity, they're going at half-time with a good lead, but they've had 9 separate goal scorers, and that's an indication they're prepared to work for each other, and that's something they've been severely criticised, is it's been left to too few, but today they're sharing the workload, and that's why they're enjoying this lead.
Well, Daniel Gilmore's never kicked 2 goals in a single match before. And he is still yet to do it as he hits the woodwork.
Oh, a rare miss. A rare miss by Fremantle at the moment. They've just looked so dangerous inside 50.
Adelaide look to clear. Up to the centre of the ground. Bott wrestling with McFarlane. Ball in dispute. Edwards found it, then lost it. Matthew Carr coming through without it. Tries his luck again. Johnson and McLeod tangle.
Just McFarlane, he would have been better to punch. He tried to wrestle his opponent, and he just tried to take the mark, and he had 3 or 4 bites at it, but by then his direct opponent had a hand on it. The centre of the ground there, very important as a key defender. If you can sit your fist right through it and gain 20 or 30 metres, you're bound to find one of your loose players. So just had to be better in his approach there.
Crowley lost it. This is Edwards for Adelaide. Manufacturing some space for himself. Retreating to Chris Knights. Edwards has got it back again from Bott. Looking out wide where he has Riley and Goodwin. Riley looking for the lead of Perry.
They've got plenty of numbers back here, Fremantle. Not a lot to kick to.
Burton the target. Hayden wrapped up in the tackle. Now the clearing kick from Dodd. Out wide where he finds Mundy. Happy to slow it down.
It's a risky kick. Oh, did he do it?
Oh, he had to take the mark.
Did he do
very
well?
Good there.
Oh, that was brilliant. 4 players were on the ground ready to sweep it away. He took that mark.
Peter Bell going out wide. This is Johnson, and he takes the mark. He goes quickly. The Bill director was looking for Headland. It's cut out by Matner, who uses McGregor, and now Adelaide can run. They're in space. Dowdy to McLeod.
That's better.
Now Brent Riley.
Yeah, nothing long on here at all. That's a poor kick.
Poor kick.
Set a target for Bott. But Grover helps himself to the loose ball and brings it out to Robert Warner.
All that kick coming inside 50. The only kick on was a 30-metre kick to the top of the 50. Really needed to either use a short player or continue to run and try and draw a player or two and then kick over their head. That kick from Brett Riley was unlike him. It was a poor option.
Des Headland with it now. Just his 4th disposal is being quiet. Onto the lead. Nice work. Pavlich has taken the mark.
Which is probably a good thing that Headland being a little bit quiet. If you're looking for a positive, is he's probably been nearly their best forward in the last month. Yep. And a good upside in the second half, the fact that he can only get better, you would think. Headland, Tarrant not really having an influence either, just 4 possessions. Pavlich being reasonably well held. 5 possessions prior to this, and 9 goals on the board. So they're getting plenty of good drive out of their midfield runners at the moment.
Kicked the first goal of the game, Matthew Pavlich. And looking to give Fremantle a game-high 18-point lead. Coming back, but not enough. Mark taken in the goal square by Stevens.
Looked like Warnock had a piece on that, but Stevens man in front.
Edwards coming up for disposal, number 15. Only Goodwin with 16 has more. And this is Welsh. Intelligent handball inboard to find the running Richard Douglas.
Nothing long again. Perry against 2.
Ran into Des Headland, was going nowhere. He's holding the ball.
And that's why he ran into him, because when he looked up inside the forward 50, Perry had his back to the play, and 2 Fremantle players was what was looking at him. So when he looked there, nothing. Your get-out clause then is the long kick, and it wasn't on.
Marcus Drum, handball. Sold his teammate into trouble, Roger Hayden. Intelligently, though, for Duffield. Now back to the centre of the ground, where Fremantle have numbers, and Hazelby goes to the pocket. At the back, it's Mundy, lurking with intent. Kick to the goal square, mark taken by Stevens, who will play on quickly. Out to Edwards. Handball over the top for Massey.
This is better. They've got some more options here now. Perry's only got, he's got an empty forward line here.
And a break on McFarlane. Perry needs a kind bounce and gets one. Has Welsh calling for it. Thornton arrives.
Hit the arms.
Play on is the call. Van Berlo looking to run onto it. Kept it alive. Welsh took his eye off it. Gets it to Van Berlo. Around the body. Adelaide trying to manufacture something. Perry couldn't find it. Now it's Matthew Carr. Has time. Slow hand pass for Peter Bell. Who's wrapped up by Douglas, but got it off to Matthew Carr. Strong work from Matthew Carr. With the support of Duffield, who goes again. Now it opens up for the Dockers. Heath Black sharing it out wide.
Needs to keep running here, Warnock.
Crowley looks for the lead of McManus. Just his 3rd disposal, and the lead is on from Pavlich, and he caught one for his corner as well. It's a 50-metre penalty against Pop.
Well, the weather has stormed very well here at Fremantle. They're just frustrating Adelaide in particular. The last 3 inside 50s Adelaide have gone into, they've really had little to kick to, but a wall of Fremantle Docker players, and just very careful in their choice of decision-making coming out. Fremantle, mass numbers across that outer wing. They're using the numbers game really well, Fremantle here, and they're now really starting to take control of this game.
Pavlich puts the finishing touches on, and the Dockers have a 3-goal lead.
Well, the 50 hurts when you're going to have a shot from 45, 50 metres on a 45-degree angle, and you end up kicking from the goal square. But it was their effort across half-back again, which was just terrific. Their ability to link up with run and handball through the midfield. Well, 50 metres, a bit late, perhaps. Scott Welsh off the ground as well. Bit of a spell for his effort there in the forward line, but he could have possibly got a free kick himself, Scott Welsh. He got a chop on the arms, but gee, they're playing well, Fremantle.
4 unanswered goals from the Fremantle Dockers, who trailed in the middle stages of this term, but now lead by 3 goals. Tick over 2 minutes left until half-time. Hudson with 12 hit-outs to his name. Warnock has 6. It's been a good battle. And despite giving away centimetres, Hudson's been valuable for the Adelaide Crows.
Talk about unselfish play. I know we've spoken about Goodwin already, but McManus doing a great job on McLeod. He's been sensational across half forward. McLeod only this quarter 3 possessions, so doing a job for his team, McManus.
Edwards wrapped up by Solomon in a strong tackle.
And an important job too, Colby. Is there plenty of talk out there from the Fremantle side? That's usually a good indication at ground level whether a side's on. Yeah, they're definitely on today. There's plenty of direction, and coming off, the boys are up and going when they come off the ground as well.
Doughty scrambles a kick away. B-grade bounce for John Cock. Hazelby John Cock's second effort was a good one to smother the ball. Now with Van Berlo's support, John Cock will try and manufacture one to the goal square. The Birdman couldn't mark it, tried to tap it to McGregor. McFarlane happy to have scored it over.
Free kick, McFarlane was just hanging on to him, McGregor. It's actually coming back to Dodd in the goal square. Did that very well with Birdman. He just flew a little bit early there, Pickers, because he knows Birdman can fly and hang in there for a long time in the air. So just probably took his airspace away from him. So that was a good play by Dodd.
Burton's a little bit like Gary Ablett Sr. when he goes for a mark. He goes early, which is very difficult if you're a defender. If the player that goes early sticks its backside out, and that's the athleticism of Burton. So you summed it up really well, Jacko. That's exactly what you need to do when you've got a player that's capable of sitting on your head.
Out wide, Warner takes the mark. Final 60 seconds of the first half.
Been impressive.
He has. And good support there by Daniel Gilmore. He's had the 10 possessions and kicked the goal himself. So they've got a lot out of their ruck duo here today, Fremantle, and played this ground very well.
McFarlane. Across ground, and here he finds Dodd.
There's that zinc cream we talked about. Scorcher here in Adelaide today. 12 degrees. You might have sensitive skin, Jacko.
Oh, it's just doing the right thing, mate.
You've become a pretty good player, by the way, Stephen Dodd. Very important player for Fremantle. Got to help them when they play in Western Australia on a hot day.
Good grab there from Pavlich, ahead of Stevens. And the Fremantle Dockers have had the better of the second term here against Adelaide. Very enterprising period. They kicked 5 goals straight in the first term, Fremantle. Added another 5-2 here in the second. And after Adelaide had kicked 3 in a row to retake the lead in the middle stages of the second term, Fremantle have kicked the last 4 goals of the first half and hold an 18-point lead at the major break. In Mark Harvey's first game as coach, it's the Dockers who lead Adelaide by 18.
30 months, no deposit, no interest until January 2010. Now at Harvey Norman. Get on the ball and catch this incredible offer in-store now. Monthly repayments and 30 months, no deposit, no interest until January 2010. We've got it all ready to roll. A huge range of big screen home entertainment and household appliances, computers, home office and mobile technology, furniture, bedding and bedroom furniture. Plus 30 months, no deposit, no interest until January 2010. But hurry, limited time only. Go Harvey Norman.
Jumper for Aunt Em, $80 online. Dog dish for Toto, $20 online. Fabulous shoes, $150 online. Knowing you're safe when you shop online? Priceless. With MasterCard Zero Liability, you're protected from unauthorised purchases. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
Who wins it for us? John. Here's Aloisi for a place in the World Cup.
Endurance can mean the difference between winning and losing. Powerade Isotonic hydrates and energizes you fast. It's scientifically proven to help you perform at your peak 10% longer.
Open the door to a life of security, privacy and holiday fun. A special place to share with friends in a resort setting most only dream about. National Lifestyle Villages are for the young at heart. For a free information pack, call 1300 45 55 65.
Energy-efficient light globes are really great. When you add up the fact that they last longer, they're saving energy, time and the environment, they're well worth it in the end.
Energy-saving globes twin pack, $8.92. Pack of 4 garden solar lights, $24.98. Vitreous China toilet suite, $197.98. Solar security light, $79.84. Foam weather seal tape, just $2.94.
Who doesn't want to save money and the environment at the same time?
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Football is defined by many memorable performances.
And he's paid the penalty. Great tackle.
Acts of incredible determination and resolve.
Griffin on Barton then wins the football.
This year, players who demonstrate outstanding courage, initiative and teamwork will be recognised by the 2007 AFL Army Award. Vote for the player you think went beyond the call at afl.com.au. The Army. Challenge yourself.
Sunday AFL live on Fox Sports. Settle in for an epic doubleheader. Could it be last chance footy as the Lions challenge the Blues for a crucial win? 1 o'clock live from the Gabba. Then at 4, it's a one-point game rematch as the Roos take on the Demons, desperate to stop another one slipping through their fingers.
I think it's across the line. Goal.
Sunday AFL, Brisbane Lions Carlton from 1, Kangaroos Melbourne at 4, all live on Fox Sports 1.
Half-time here at Amy Stadium, and it's the visiting Fremantle Dockers under new coach Mark Harvey by 18 points. And maybe an upset brewing here as you look at the leading possession winners and goal kickers. Pavlich with a couple, Black and Matthew Carr been outstanding in the first half. And Jacko, when you have a look at this, they've dominated the uncontested possessions, Fremantle.
They certainly have. They made their intention early to come out here and play, and they won a lot of the hard 50-50 footballs, which in recent weeks they haven't been able to win. Really put it on Adelaide, and during the second quarter, Adelaide kicked 3 goals in a row, and we thought that they were going to go away with it, but they've gone inside their forward 50 3 times less than Adelaide and enjoy this 3-goal lead, but they've had 7 more rebounds outside of 50, and they've been playing the running game, running the ball and making good decisions when they go forward, and that's why they're enjoying this lead.
Well, the inside 50 efficiency of Fremantle has been fantastic. One player who's just been dominant in the first half, plays on the wing, uses it well, he's had it 17 times. Heath Black has been a star.
Certainly has. I mean, this bloke has been a player that, you know, he's injured at the start of the year, finally got back in a bit of form. But the good thing about his play is, as you mentioned in the commentary, when he gets it, he does something with it most times. And this here had a shot on goal, kicks the goal. You know, you make good use of your possessions, but brings other players into the game, breaks the lines and carries the football real well.
Well, you look at some of the stars of Fremantle haven't really fired as such. I mean, Pavlich, Headland, Tarrant, not a lot of ball in the forward 50, but it's their running players like Heath Black and also like Peter Bell. 15 possessions, Peter Bell in the first half. Robert Shirley's direct opponent, just 1 possession. Yeah, I mean, 1 possession obviously hasn't been amongst it, but Peter Bell kicked the goal himself, but he's won some important football in stoppages. He's created a couple of goals as well, as we see him enjoying this goal in the first quarter. But, I mean, he's their spiritual leader, a great example. He's becomes a life member of the AFL today. He's playing his 300th official AFL game, but he's certainly a player that, you know, he sets the barometer. But the good thing about Fremantle today, he's got followers. He's got players that are following his lead and contributing. And 9 single different goal kickers. They're all amongst it, Fremantle, and they're set for a big second half. Well, they are, and there's no doubt about that. Adelaide really need to lift. They need to find some forwards. At the moment, they're a bit of a one-man band up there. Brett Burton's been a terrific player, kicked a couple of goals. Provides a contest every time, Brett Burton. You've got to love the way he plays. Certainly does. I mean, a very dangerous player. As we saw there, got goal side of Dodd there. And ran in and kicked his first goal. This here, I mean, he got Scotty Thompson, brought him into the game here, just had to give a contest. He looked very dangerous, and that's the period where Adelaide kicked 3 goals in a row. He was on 2 of them and created that 3rd one. But then Fremantle, where they've been questioned all year, this is where they go to water, have certainly come and answered to that response, and they kicked the next 3 goals. So they made a very good game here at Amy Stadium, and they probably come in at half-time knowing that Adelaide have lost 4 home games here. They're a big chance. It's all up to Adelaide to respond to that challenge. Where they're breaking down at the moment, the Crows have had plenty of balls inside 50. It's been the forward 50 efficiency that's been really lacking from the Crows compared to the Fremantle Dockers, who have gone inside and looked dangerous. Well, in the latter part of that quarter, Brett Burton was the only bloke inside their forward 50, and I mean, the Adelaide players weren't playing smart football. They were just bombing it in there to a wall of Dockers players. There was 3 or 4 to each one Adelaide player. So, I mean, it just wasn't smart play. But, I mean,
the uncontested possessions and the hard run by Fremantle is enabling them to find the space, the overlap, look for each other. But that second kick going into their forward 50 has been very important. They've been very good there, whereas all year they've been criticised in that area.
Well, they lead by 18 points, I should say, the Dockers. They've been terrific. Mark Harvey laying down the law there. After the break, injured Adelaide star Ben Rutten will have a chat with John Casey. They've got plenty of work to do in the second half for the Crows.
My wife actually told me one day, she says, if you spent so much time at Bunnings, why don't you go and get a job there? And guess what I did?
4-litre Dulux wash and wear, only $61.90. Heavy-duty multifold ladder, $149. Craft Tech Jumbo Toolbox, $69.94. Porcelain tiles, just $19.93 per square metre. If you happen to find a cheaper price on a stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%.
People will be very surprised at the range that we have.
Bunnings Warehouse.
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
To celebrate the exclusive release of AFL Premiership 2007 on PlayStation 2, you could have the ultimate 2007 Toyota AFL Grand Final experience. AFL Premiership 2007 puts you in the action alongside this season's teams and players. Take a screamer and kick the game-winning goal. Go to tvwinners.com.au and play Spot the Ball for game giveaways and a chance to win the ultimate 2007 Toyota AFL Grand Final experience with tickets, flights and accommodation. AFL Premiership 2007, exclusive to PlayStation 2, out now.
There are lots of myths about the workplace relations system.
The biggest myth is that employees are alone and unprotected. And that's just not true. Employees are not alone. I'm the head of the Workplace Authority and we're here to provide support and advice to employees in making agreements. And there's the Workplace Ombudsman who will take action against employers who do the wrong thing. For more information, just call us on the Workplace Info line.
The workplace relations system. Know where you stand. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
We've become a world that likes things, expects things, needs things. But we've failed to think about where all these things will go after we've used them. That's why ACRA have made it easy for you to reuse your printer cartridge. Why? Is one of these printer cartridges yours? It's time to rethink and start reusing. Reusing them is the best form of recycling and it'll save you money. ACRA, rethink, react and reuse.
He wins it for us. John, here's Aloisi for a place in the World Cup.
Endurance can mean the difference between winning and losing. Powerade Isotonic hydrates and energises you fast. It's scientifically proven to help you perform at your peak 10% longer.
7:30 Sunday night, the Superbike World Championship from the Czech Republic, live on Fox Sports 3. The heat was on in Misano. The Tari Terriers' title hopes were on the line.
It's a big weekend for Bayliss.
To stay in touch, he needed his first double of the season.
Bayliss has got his head down and is going for it.
And that's exactly what he delivered. The Superbike World Championship from the Czech Republic, 7:30 Sunday night, live on Fox Sports 3.
Rewind your weekend and re-queue for the ultimate footy review, Monday nights on Fox Sports. From 7:30, go ground to ground across the round with Clinton Gribus as he hosts the comprehensive AFL highlight show, The Winners. Then live at 8:30, settle onto the couch with Jared, Mike and Wolsey as they kickstart the footy week with uncompromising analysis of the latest news, results and opinions. AFL Monday from 7:30, Fox Sports 1.
Welcome back to AAMI Stadium, where Fremantle lead by 18 points at the moment. Injured Crows star Ben Rutten's been kind enough to join us. And Ben, you suffered a knee injury and a calf problem there last week against St Kilda. How long until you'll be back?
Yeah, look, hopefully only just missed the 1 week and I'll be right to go next week.
Well, you played 67 consecutive games leading up to this match and played more minutes than anyone last year and again this year. So unfamiliar territory for you to be sitting on the sidelines.
Yeah, look, I've had a pretty good run so far this year and it's a pretty unfamiliar thing for me, but hopefully I can just miss the 1 week and be back next week.
What is it about key defenders that the umpires don't seem to notice? Because you've been top 10 in the best and fairest for the last 2 years and an All-Australian in 2005, but in 75 games, you've never polled a Brownlow vote.
Yeah, look, I don't know. They like the flashy players and the ones who kick the goals and get lots of possessions. So I'm not too fussed, mate. I just like to do my job for the team, and you know, I get appreciated within the club.
Well, you started off as a flashy player. Your debut was against Fremantle in Subiaco. You kicked 3 goals with your first 3 kicks, but now it's down the defensive end that you do your best work.
Yeah, look, I think it's probably where I'm best suited, and I'm most comfortable down defence. So I'm happy to keep playing down there for now.
And your career started, you were a 17-year-old when you made your debut in the SANFL. You were captain of the South Australian under-18 team, but were overlooked and taken in the rookie draft in 2002. Did you ever think that you might not get a crack at the big time?
Yeah, look, it did cross my mind. I mean, I copped a knee injury in the under-18 state champs, I think, when I was 17. So that sort of probably deterred a few clubs, and wanted to see how I could recover and come back from that.
And was it a hard transition for you from going from a key forward to a key defender?
Oh, not too bad. I mean, most of my junior career I'd played a bit of both ends, so I'm pretty comfortable to be able to play forward or back.
And can you give us any secrets? Because you're the only man who's kept Matthew Pavlich goalless in the last 40 games. You've also done a good job on the likes of Warren Treadray in the past as well. So what's the key to keeping a big power forward out of the action?
Well, you need a fair bit of help from up the ground, and I suppose the form we've had the last couple of years has made playing in defence pretty easy. But I suppose you just got to try and stop them getting hold of the ball, and whether that be in the air or on the ground.
And last year you had the honour of captaining the Crows in the absence of Mark Rashudo. That must have been a big thrill for you.
Yeah, look, it was a big thrill, and obviously we like to have Mark out there, and but when he's not there, it gave some other opportunities for other players to stand up and show their leadership.
Well, Ben, we appreciate your time and look forward to seeing you back on the park very shortly.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
Ben Rutten, the injured Crows star, and they could do with his services at the moment because the Fremantle Dockers are travelling smoothly. They have a 3-goal lead, and we'll have more for you the second half coming up to see if Adelaide can work their way out of this problem when we return to AAMI Stadium.
Energy-efficient light globes are really great. When you add up the fact that they last longer, they're saving energy, time and the environment, they're well worth it in the end.
Energy-saving globes twin pack, $8.92. Pack of 4 garden solar lights, $24.98. Vitreous China toilet suite, $197.98. Solar security light, $79.84. Foam weather seal tape, just $2.94.
Who doesn't want to save money and the environment at the same time?
Bunnings Warehouse! Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Hit the streets with great deals from Holden. Like the special edition Commodore Lumina with the advanced safety of ESP as standard. You'll also get over $6,000 of extra value, including 18-inch alloys, Bluetooth phone connectivity and rear parking sensors. All from $32,990 plus dealer delivery and government charges. So get into your Holden dealer today.
To celebrate the exclusive release of AFL Premiership 2007 on PlayStation 2, you could have the ultimate 2007 Toyota AFL Grand Final experience. AFL Premiership 2007 puts you in the action alongside this season's teams and players. Take a screamer and kick the game-winning goal. Go to tvwinners.com.au and play Spot the Ball for game giveaways and a chance to win the ultimate 2007 Toyota AFL Grand Final experience with tickets, flights and accommodation. AFL Premiership 2007, exclusive to PlayStation 2, out now.
This piece of plastic is giving more Australians more rewards for every dollar they spend. I'm going undercover to investigate this extraordinary claim.
Keep going, keep going. Left. Stop. Now we just wait.
Gotcha! Giving people more rewards, huh?
Everybody gone home.
4 out of 5 Australians earn more rewards with the Bankwest More MasterCard.
30 months, no deposit, no interest until January 2010. Now at Harvey Norman. Get on the ball and catch this incredible offer in-store now. Monthly repayments and 30 months, no deposit, no interest until January 2010. We've got it all ready to roll. A huge range of big screen home entertainment and household appliances, computers, home office and mobile technology, furniture, bedding and bedroom furniture. Plus 30 months, no deposit, no interest until January 2010. But hurry, limited time only. Go Harvey Norman.
Sunday AFL live on Fox Sports. Settle in for an epic doubleheader. Could it be last chance footy as the Lions challenge the Blues for a crucial win? 1 o'clock live from the Gabba. Then at 4, it's a one-point game rematch as the Roos take on the Demons, desperate to stop another one slipping through their fingers.
I think it's across the line. Goal.
Sunday AFL, Brisbane Lions Carlton from 1, Kangaroos Melbourne at 4, all live on Fox Sports 1.
Hopkins and Wright, two of the finest boxers of this generation.
Psychological warfare in the squared circle.
Michael Katsidis, star of the Next Generation and current world lightweight champ.
Katsidis has a habit of finishing people quick.
All on the same card for an unbelievable fight night.
We just don't see something like this that often.
Two tacticians and a hard-nosed Aussie in his US debut. Hopkins v. Wright, Katsidis v. Amasa, live Sunday, July 22. See it at your Fox Sports venue or main event.
Welcome back to Amy Stadium. The Fremantle Dockers have only won one of their 7 road games this year against the Demons at round 4 at the MCG. Can they hold on here, leading by 18 as we go down to Lee Colbert on the boundary?
Thanks, Johnny. Coaches battled in the first halves of structures and where they wanted to put players, but coming off, starting on the bench, Scotty Thompson for Adelaide Crows, and also Hazelby will start on for Fremantle. But Tyson Edwards, interestingly, got a little bit of work done by the physios on the ground. So big second half coming up, boys.
Looking forward to it. Without wanting to rain on the Fremantle parade, they have lost 3 times this year when they've led at half-time. They have trouble closing out matches.
Yeah, great to see that Souther really help you at half-time there, John. But look, it's in their ball court now, Fremantle. They're under no illusions. They know they are in a position to win a game of football. They've been heartbroken, you know, a few times this year, Liam, but they're playing with an intent. They're going to finish this game off.
Yeah, no doubt about that. It's a very, very big second half coming up. Gee, they've done a complete swap here. John Cock's gone forward for Adelaide and Roger Hayden's gone back. So they're just going to follow each other wherever they go this afternoon.
Underway in the second half, the Dockers by 18. Matthew Carr to Bell, and the Dockers look to go forward once more. McLeod wrestling with McManus, 2 veterans going at it. Strong tackle from Josh Carr. Ball comes out to Solomon. McManus to Matthew Carr. Building again, Fremantle. Looking up forward for Johnson. Ball scrambled by Pavlich, and he's kicked the goal.
Well, this is where they've been good today, Fremantle, at the stoppages. I mean, it was nearly a stoppage there, but Matty Carr got it out, as we see here. Sorry, it was Solomon that got it out to McManus. But a big, quick kick in. Johnson, big body there, just had to compete, bring the ball down. And Matthew Pavlich, I mean, kicked his 3rd goal now. And that's a big statement in the first 30 seconds of this game.
Terrific running, spot on, Jacko. He could have flown, which a lot of big blokes do, but nah, he read the situation perfectly, Pavlich. Just got front and square like a little rover would. Good finish.
Pavlich has kicked the last 2 goals of the match. Game high 24-point lead for the Fremantle Dockers, and the alarm bells are ringing for Adelaide as Edwards works them forward only as far as Crowley. Wants to play on with the support of Grover coming off half-back. Now Roger Hayden with the support of Tarrant. He goes short looking for Josh Carr.
Useful. Right.
Went for the lead of Johnson. It was a poor kick, though, cut out by Martin Matner. And he has Goodwin available. Good depth with the kick as well. John Cock calling for it. Leads to centre half forward. Takes it on his chest. Out for Burton. Climbs high. Got plenty of it. Not paid under pressure from Dodd. Welsh had it, then lost it. The free kick is going for Scott Welsh.
Not happy. Brett Burton. He's letting the umpire know that he thought he had a fair piece of that.
I thought he had a fair argument too. I thought he took a good mark there.
Yeah, under pressure, the contested mark would have been a very good effort by Burton. I wasn't sure of the kick by John Cock coming in.
A bit up and under.
A bit of an up and under job, but gee, this is an important kick. Fremantle, the last 4 goals of the second quarter and a goal within a minute of the third. They just need to sort of steady to get a little bit of belief back here, the Crows.
34 for the season. Adelaide's leading goal kicker makes no mistake.
Well, just an important inside 50 for Adelaide. Had to make something of it because Fremantle have had that wall for the whole afternoon where they've just mounted their attacks up that half-back line with Mundy, Grover, Crowley and McFarlane. Been really working hard, but just a free kick. Well,
he had a fair piece.
Had a fair piece of it, but Dodd was just a bit overzealous there, just drove him to the ground. And well done, Scotty Ross. Only his second kick, but an important goal for Adelaide to get back in this game.
15 games this year for Scott Welsh. He's been held goalless just 3 times. But it's Fremantle by 18 points. 3.5 minutes played. Term number 3 as Josh Carr goes to Crowley. Measures the kick for McManus. Solomon riding shotgun for him. Sun in his eyes.
It's a very ordinary kick.
And straight to Hudson. McLeod looking to go long. Not a lot on offer. The lead is from Welsh. Led under the ball by Thornton.
Big ball this.
Stevens was strong against multiple numbers. Dockers with Crowley working into trouble. Scott Stevens around the body. Kicked 3 goals against the Dockers in round 5, and he's bought into this one as well.
Said about the big ball at half forward, and it really was. Big Warnock there. No one really winning it decisively. He went down the big far, which was a pretty good effort. But look at the pressure here from Adelaide's forward line. Perry put the pressure on Crowley, and great snap by Stevens. And well, the goal from Welsh gives them belief. This actually now, they're really starting to think they're back in this game because Fremantle have been so sharp this afternoon. That's a great snap. So hard to do from nearly on 50 to snap around the corner like that and get it right.
Stevens sent forward, one of 3 West Australians in the Crows lineup, and he gets the job done. Adelaide with back-to-back goals, and we have a 12-point ball game. 5 minutes played in the 3rd term.
No crazy on man over here. No spare man anywhere. Every man for his direct opponent now. So, no, they've got to go for it here.
Hudson with the tap. Well controlled by Goodwin, but he was shut down quickly by a strong tackle from Matthew Carr. Knights. Solomon trying to relieve Bock of possession. Came up with the ball.
You like it like that, Liam. It's a good game of footy now where each player is responsible for the direct opponent.
Well, it's also how Adelaide play their best football. So I'm not sure that Fremantle's a side you roll the dice against. I really don't, because I think they're very good when they're in front, Fremantle, and they use the ball well when the opposition allow them to have loose players.
Heath Black looking for the lead of Tarrant, who left it behind. Bock cleans up. Needed to be accurate with the pass and was to find Van Berlo, who wants John Cock. Has runners inboard. Back to Van Berlo. Now Tyson Edwards with a left foot. Stevens.
John Cock is working really hard here.
Burton on the lead. Well, the Crows fans are getting excited now. Burton thought about going to John Cock, but he's going back. He'll be looking for his 3rd of the afternoon.
Colby, down on the boundary line, have you felt an intensity shift in Adelaide in the last few minutes? Because it really looks like it up here in the box.
Oh, definitely from the back line, they've Massey and McLeod are all up and going now. They're getting around to each other. But Graham Johncock, Neil Craig actually put him forward against the Cats, and he did well there.
Burton kicked 3 goals round 4 against Sydney. He's got another 3 here against the Dockers, and Adelaide are closing.
Well, it's good play by Adelaide. They know where they're at. I mean, they got out a 4-goal lead there by Fremantle, but they've kicked the last 3 in a row, and I mean, this is the guy that's going to certainly turn the match. But he needs a few other players to come with him, and they've got the chance now. It's turning their way.
Well, they're looking to play on too. That's the other thing in the last 5 minutes that's really noticeable is we saw that across half-back and through the centre of the ground then. They want to play on the Crows, play on quickly. They're now man-on-man as well, which is a good option.
3 goals in 5 minutes from Adelaide, and a single kick separates these teams. Adelaide 17 scoring shots to 13, but still chasing against the Dockers. Getting very willing now is Tawney. Somehow eludes the traffic, finds Tyson Edwards. Out on the lead, Burton, unable to take the mark. tries to knock it forward. Dean Solomon just climbing to his feet behind play after taking a nasty knock. Goodwin. Well, there's Solomon going to be escorted off the ground. And Burton's free again.
Work rate of Burton. Outstanding stuff, Brett Burton. He competed on the other half-forward flank. He didn't take the mark. He followed up on the ground. He didn't allow the ball to come out. He put defensive pressure on and then worked laterally across the ground into space. Now, if you want an indication as a coaching staff on how a forward should work, both attacking, if you like, or defensively and also working offensively, that was just sensational play by Burton. If he can finish off here, that's nearly play of the day.
Burton comes in, the fans like it, and the Crows have now kicked 4 in a row.
Well, there's no doubt, because they've lifted their intensity and the hard run by the Adelaide players moving forward. As we see Brett Burton, he was on all fours here, contested, got up, flicked it out, but you see him on screen now. He'll get up now from that contest, and you'll see he'll start to run as Tyson. He picks out Goodwin here. Goodwin, he's only gone back about 8 or 9 steps here. And look at his kick it to.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant play by Brett Burton.
Well, Brett Burton has kicked 4 of Adelaide's 7 goals since quarter time.
There's a heavy collision with Josh Carr and Solomon has come on for a bit of a rest on the bench. So just, Colby, if you get a chance to look at that later on, just see what the report on Dean Solomon is.
The fans rising here in Adelaide as the Crows mount their challenge. Fremantle under pressure. Bounce not going the way of Gilmore.
Good play by Shirley. Just didn't allow the ball to spill out then. They had the numbers, Fremantle. Just got an arm in. Should need to do. That shows a lift in intensity across the ground.
This is Riley, head down. Tackled by Hazelby. Over the top, Matthew Carr.
Can you feel it, Colby? You're down amongst it.
Oh, definitely, mate. The crowd are coming now, but Dean Solomon, he's just having a bit of work on his neck, but a bit of work off the ball here. Tyson Edwin's cracking in. The Crows are up.
It's a hot ball at the moment as Crowley reels it in, looks into the centre of the ground and finds Hazelby. Thornton charges away for him.
Are you running in here?
Yeah, he should run to 50 and have a shot here.
Headland calling for it in the goal square. Drum comes across at the front, and Marcus Drum, playing his first game of the year, takes a strong mark and will line up.
Well, he had to take the mark there because Scotty Thornton is a little bit indecisive there. He was going to go, he wasn't going to go, and then it was an up and under kick. And Marcus Drum was there for a while, and he had to wait for it. But it was a good contested mark for him. Important goal against the run of play here. Just to get back to the lead here for Fremantle. This is an important part.
There's never been a multiple goal kicker in his career. Looking at number 2 today, and he nudges it through, and Fremantle are back in front.
Saw a lot of this young bloke as a junior, and he is a very nice player. Good play by Hazelby. It was a great squaring kick to Hazelby. And thought he was a bit betwixt and between here. Now, could he have ran the 50 and had a shot? In the end, he kicked it high, but lovely mark. Massey just missing the arms. Probably needed to chop the arms there. Just couldn't quite get the fist in. But important, you said it right, Jacko. The runner play is all Adelaide at the moment. It was a very important goal.
20-year-old Marcus Drum, the youngest man on the ground today, has given Fremantle back the lead. We played almost 12 minutes here in term number 3, and the nephew of the former coach Damien Drum and former Tiger great Francis Burke living up to the hype at the moment.
Good pedigree.
Josh Carr working hard as usual.
Fremantle got to continue to run. In this 5 minutes where Adelaide have pulled on 4 goals, I mean, momentum did shift their way, but Fremantle got that goal back then because they ran the lines, they ran hard, and that's what they did very well, particularly in that second quarter. They got to continue to attack and not counterpunch.
Van Berlo gets Adelaide forward to Perry, harassed by Johnson. Good pressure from Adelaide. Welsh runs onto the ball after Heath Black gave it up. In traffic, though, Edwards with problems. Matthew Carr. Good skill from Thompson. Gets it to Matner, who can drive Adelaide long. Here's Goodwin. Numbers in support. Welsh was trying to get it to Perry. It came back to him. Burton trying to make a contest. Couldn't get to it. And now it's Crowley. John Cock harassing him, putting the pressure on, forces the error. Handball from Hudson, straight to Thornton. Now Bell, with the support of Roger Hayden. Calling for it, Josh Carr. With a bounce. A little too nimble for Welsh. Josh Carr with 4 bounces. Trying to get Crowley involved. The hand pass was behind him. Now it's Thompson for Adelaide. His handball was a poor one. Gets another chance. Welsh.
You've got to look inside the corridor here because there's nothing long.
Burton leads to the pocket. Welsh goes in that direction. Closing dot. Came up with possession. Well tackled by Burton. Ball to the boundary line and now over before Roger Hayden can reel it in.
Well done, Dodd there. Needed to win that. Important. Wasn't too many players within, I guess, the goal mouth from that contest. And Brett Burton, as good as he is in the air, is just as dangerous on the ground.
Hudson. Gilmore, his opposite number, tracks down the loose ball. With a pass for Hazelby was a high one. Edwards comes in. Van Berlo with Massey in support. Fumbled the ball. Now has his hands full. Coming in over the top, Marcus Drum.
Liam, the intensity has lifted, and Fremantle responded now, and it's a good game of footy, but it's important you don't be forcing the rash decisions because from that turnovers are created, and we've seen a couple already in this quarter, in particular by Fremantle. They just need to steady, keep possession of the football and keep running the footy like they were in that second half.
Pavlich gets away from McGregor.
He's got the panic here.
Shirley trying to track him down. Pavlich goes long. Thornton.
What about the kick?
Takes the mark, runs in and kicks the goal created by Pavlich and sealed by Scott Thornton.
What about the kick from Pavlich? He had absolutely nothing on. Great running also by Thornton because when he gets the ball here, he looks up and there is nothing to kick to. He's 70 metres, got a good shepherd from Hazelby. He's looking inside, and that's about as good a kick as he could have done because he's worked from 50 metres. The two Adelaide defenders missed each other. Well, they nearly hit each other, but missed their direct opponent, which was Thornton. But what about the kick from Pavlich? And 2 in a row, very important from Fremantle.
Dockers back out to a 12-point lead. Almost 16 minutes played, term number 3. The 7 of the last 8 clashes between these teams have been decided by less than 3 goals. And we are headed in that direction again here at Amy Stadium. Marich doing the ruck work to Thompson, who was harassed out of it by Matthew Carr. But Van Berlo been busy all day. Impressively drives them forward again. John Cock getting back with Roger Hayden. Grover shrugs the tackle. Now to Crowley, back to Grover. And Gilmore. McFarlane with a bounce. Relieves the pressure for Fremantle. Pass though. Straight to McGregor, who is brave going back with the flight of the ball. Here's McLeod. Looking for Thompson. He brings it out wider for Chris Massey. Every Fremantle player is now in Adelaide's attacking half of the ground. And here's Perry taking the mark. Handball to McLeod, who unloads from 55. Got it straight, got it long. Oh, we've got a ball going.
Great run from Andrew McLeod from half-back. A good build-up by Adelaide, really, there. Perry led hard there. He led deep, too. He was deep near the goal square when he pushed out there. And that's his strength, Ian Perry, is his endurance and his ability to work, and his work rate, his ability to work hard. And a great releasing handball. They parted like the waves in the sea there and allowed McLeod to run to 50. And there's not too many players who are better on the run than Andrew McLeod.
Well, Adelaide kicked 6 goals in the first half. They've kicked 5 here in 17.5 minutes of the third term. But it's Fremantle in front by a goal. Bounce favours Marriage. Has to go again, though, after he almost gave it up to Hazelby.
A couple of great goals, running goals. Thornton was sensational before, and then obviously McLeod at that time. But you can just sense a player's going to stamp this game and make it his own.
Running onto the ball here. Mundy couldn't track it down.
If you turn the television on now, it's the first part of the game you've watched. You see Adelaide 11 goals, 8, 19 scoring shots. Fremantle 13-2. You probably think Adelaide have been wasteful, but they've just been, they haven't been so much wasteful. They haven't got the ball in the areas to kick the goals compared to Fremantle, who've just been far more efficient. But you probably think, because it's so close, that Adelaide really have got all the play. Now, they have in the last 10 minutes, but Fremantle have been excellent all day.
Goodwin, the recipient of the free kick. Out wide. And Adelaide building again.
Well, what's happening here? Adelaide are leading in the ball carrier's vision, and you see there, Ian Perry a couple of times now he's got himself into the corridor, leading up and bringing other players in the game, and this is what Adelaide weren't doing in the second quarter. They were going that up and under kick. Now they've just got a few more targets, and that would have been a message by Neil Craig, but just to be a bit smarter going for their 450. They certainly have been efficient in this quarter, coming in for their 6th goal for the quarter.
Missed 5 games leading up to this match, but Ian Perry hasn't lost the radar, and Adelaide tie it away.
Important after Fremantle kicked a couple in a row through Drummond, Thornton, the running goal from McLeod. Now Perry, who has really lifted his intensity in this quarter. He's worked great. Lovely kick by Riley. There wasn't a lot of margin for error there. He got under the player trying to smother. And not a thing Anthony Grover could do on that occasion. The hard part is always the finish for Ian Perry. And no doubt then, going to look like missing and pretty happy. This game's well and truly up for grabs.
Adelaide have kicked 6 goals straight in this term. Fremantle 3 goals straight. Your accuracy is a lot better than my voice at the moment.
You're doing a mighty job, Johnny boy. Keep it up.
Into time on term number 3. Scores are level for the 2nd time in this term. And for the 4th time in the match, we've had 5 lead changes as well. As Dowdy farms it out to Thompson, who got rid of it quickly. Matner. Handball missed the target. Has to go back and retrieve it. Under pressure. Found some space. Dane Thompson getting treatment from Dean Solomon. And we'll have a bounce.
Well, it's a good arm wrestle this. It's certainly turned into a tight contest, but 2 blokes that Fremantle desperately need to get in the game is Desi Headland and Chris Charrant. They've only had 6 and 5 possessions respectively for a half of football. They need a bit more contribution from those 2 players.
Massey to Van Berlo. Adelaide pressing again. Inside their attacking 50. Thornton goes back under pressure. Looks for Hayden. And they'll be happy to escort it over the line.
They're doing the shuffle up at the moment in the forward line for Fremantle, or in the back line Adelaide. McGregor now with Tarrant. Bock has gone to Pavlich for this quarter.
Mundy clears for Fremantle. Strong work at the back on that occasion by Bock with the support of McGregor. Matner gets it back again. Knights back to Matner, who kept running. Eventually ran out of steam, but the ball tumbles to Joncott. In traffic, needs help. Goes forward. Courageous work from McFarlane, playing at the front. Feeds Bell, who brings it up to the centre wing. Headland looking for Gilmore.
Their numbers here, Fremantle. They need an option up forward. They've got to maintain possession of the footy here and maximise the scoring opportunity, because Adelaide are looking to pounce on any turnover, any mistake by Fremantle, and it'll be back in Fremantle in Adelaide's forward line.
McManus out wide looking for Thornton. He's been busy at both ends of the ground in this term. Drives them long to the goal square. Massey.
Did well, Massey.
Outmarks Marcus Drum to relieve some pressure for Adelaide. McLeod. Needs to be precise. Got it to Stevens, who couldn't handle the mark, but his second effort was brilliant to keep it alive. Now Riley in front of Johnson. Looking for Welsh, who got a metre on Crowley. Perry leads to the pocket. They're going there now. One grab. Over the back, Grover. Disputed ball. Grover stays with it. Now it's out of bounds.
Well, Pickers, it's just good tight footy. That's what it is. Both sides. Yeah, I mean, their errors today on both sides hasn't been much at all. I mean, they've made good use of their skills, their options they've taken. It's just a seesawing tussle in a minute.
Just got a little hand on his arm then, Grover, just enough to spoil the ball. He didn't actually hit the ball. He just pushed his right arm on Ian Perry then when it looked like he was going to take a mark uncontested. So good defensive work by Grover. But I've really noticed an improved work rate from Ian Perry. He's starting out of the goal square now and working the whole 50, which probably his best. He plays his best footy doing that.
Crowley in traffic, manufactures a kick. Adelaide with numbers. Welsh getting back, did a good job.
He's lifted too. Had a pretty good quarter, Scotty Welsh.
Similar pattern last week against the Saints. Quiet early, but finished the match on strongly with 3 goals. McGregor, no one behind him. Looking for the lead at the half-forward line. Strong running from Massey, who goes on with it, and he probably needed to steady. Gilmore takes the relieving mark and has Heath Black. Pavlich on the lead, got away from McGregor. Now Tarrant leads. That's ignored. The captain looking to slow it down. Back to Daniel Gilmore.
Not a player inside the forward 50 here for Adelaide, so they're all pushing through the midfield and into defence. Going to block up the space for Fremantle.
Mundy, nice kick for McManus, who goes on quickly as well. Coming out strongly, Hazelby.
It's a good play there by Hazelby, because what he did, he was leading towards, I guess, the boundary line, but stuck his right hand out to inform Sean McManus to kick it back into the corridor to the top. As you see, he swings his foot there, and then he just backleaded to the corridor. And, I mean, as we mentioned before, Paul Hazelby's a very good mark overhead. He backed himself, took a good overhead mark there with a bit of pressure. Need this one, Fremantle, as a steadier.
Hasn't kicked multiple goals in a game so far this season, but he's corrected that, and the Dockers lead by 6.
Very intriguing battle. Hazelby and Edwards. Edwards, the leading possession winner on the ground with 21. Hazelby has had it 17 times and also pushed forward and kicked a couple of goals. So I don't think he'll be wanting to kick too many goals. As soon as he kicks one, that's the second time he's been taken off. And he's now on the bench. And we might check with Lee Colbert a little bit later on about Roger Hayden, because he's come off the ground as well.
Six goals to 4. Adelaide lead this term, but it's Fremantle by 1 straight kick. 26 and a bit minutes played. Term number 3 from Amy. Crows looking to force their way back into the top 8. Fremantle looking to keep their slim finals hopes alive. And Grover puts his head down after the ball. Wrapped up in the tackle by Johncock. Johnson in support. Now Heath Black on the retreat. Back to Grover. In trouble again. Black supports him, and they scurry the ball up the wing to Mundy. Taking on Douglas, who forces the error with the kick.
Kept going.
Good skills, keeping it alive there from Tarrant. Back to Mundy, across the face of goal, and Des Headland bobs up. He's going to kick it to Pavlich, improve the angle. Bock didn't think it was 15. And flirting with a 50-metre penalty there.
Well, I'm going to credit this to Mundy, as all Fremantle players get to him and pat him on the back for his hard run. It got rewarded. I just like the fact that he carried it. He didn't just rush into a big up and under kick. I mean, his kick wasn't good, but it still was an advantage to Chris Tarrant. Chris Tarrant, good hands, picked it up, got it back to him, and then kicked it to the top of the square, and we saw Headland take a good mark. So it's good play by Fremantle. They've answered some of the challenge and the pressure by the Adelaide and the Adelaide supporters.
Season high of 6, round 4 against the Demons, and Pavlich gets number 4 here to extend the advantage.
Well, Luke Colbert mentioned the player that needs to stand up. There's one player that needs to stand up on the ground to break this game up. There's not a lot between the two sides. Great handball by Tarrant, and well done by Mundy, but Pavlich might very well be that player. He's kicked 4. He's had a couple of opponents already this afternoon, and in the end, he seems to be the one key forward on the ground that could be capable of kicking 7 or 8 goals this afternoon.
Pavlich has 4 at one end, Brett Burton 4 at the other end for Adelaide. 2-goal ball game, 28 and a bit minutes played. Turn number 3. Crowley in traffic, coughs it up. Knights did well, got it to Edwards, who skies it forward. Bravely under the ball, we find David Mundy. Matthew Carr calling for it, Josh Carr, and Warnock beyond that. Still 2.5 minutes left in this third term. They put on quite a show, the Dockers and the Adelaide Crows. That's an excellent pass from Josh Carr, and juggling the mark, Pavlich. Turns down the lead from Des Headland, squares it up. Josh Carr, an experienced campaigner.
Righto, Colby, down there on the ground level. Is there a message going out to these players to try and hold the ball?
Oh, I think certainly the runners have let them know how much time's left. Just on Hazelby, he's fine, getting some calf work done. Hayden's fine, and Grover getting his hip flexor. So just reloading for the last quarter, the Fremantle boys.
Mundy drives Fremantle long. High flyer was Tarrant, couldn't bring it down. Adelaide win a free kick. McManus getting into the back of his opponent, Andrew McLeod.
Let's hope you don't get too excited this last quarter, Case. That voice. In fact, Colby, you're down there on the boundary. See if you can just duck off to the milk bar. Let's get some soothers into this main commentator here. Don't want him to get too high.
He's starting to sound like Gus Mercurio.
Well, that's a knock on Gus. He never sounded this bad.
The big rancher.
Tawney got it away. Douglas. McGregor measures the kick for Knights.
Now, they need to use this. They've got one target in Welsh Long. Now, he needs to be precise with his kick.
Leads McFarlane. Play on the call. Fans don't like it, but the Dockers will clear. It's Crowley getting it from Dodd. Looking for Johnson, but set him up. Johnson did a good job. Running past Heath Black. He drives the Dockers long, looking for the leader, Pavlich. Got Bock out of the equation with strength and has taken the mark. Will line up for number 5.
Well done, Michael Johnson. I mean, Crowley putting it under enormous pressure there by just centering it. It's up and under, but he had to win that ball because you could see at the screen there was about 3 Adelaide players that were going to pounce on it. And he wins the ball, and look what happens. Goes down the other end. Heath Black, I mean, he's enjoying a game. That's his 24th possession. He's had 4 inside 50s, but this man here, he is the difference at the minute.
Kicked the first goal of the game, Matthew Pavlich. Kicked another in the second. Already has 2 in this third term. And this to restore the half-time lead of 18 points. He makes no mistake.
I'm not quite sure, Jacko, why the move was made. McGregor on Pavlich in the first half. Bock has gone to Pavlich for his third quarter. Maybe it's because he's playing a bit more out at centre-half forward, but when he goes deep, perhaps it will be McGregor. But I look at this, and he just used his body magnificently then, Pavlich. It was a good deep kick by Black. But 3 goals for the quarter to Pavlich, to a man who's played predominantly forward this year in Nathan Bock. Not sure that's the right matchup at the moment.
The Dockers have kicked 6 straight since half-time. Adelaide have kicked 6 straight since half-time. And after they tied the ball game away at the 19-minute mark of this term, the Dockers again enjoy a 3-goal buffer. 32 minutes played in the third. Is there one last roll of the dice for Adelaide in this turn? Perry out on the lead, so too Burton. Ball over the boundary line, and time working against the Crows.
Well, just important here now for Fremantle. We'll lock this out. Just bring this stoppage down to the ground and just run the clock here with 5 seconds to go. And come in, and basically square the quarter, because Adelaide looked like they were going to win the quarter.
Hudson the tap, but straight to Josh Carr. And the Fremantle Dockers survived the challenge from the Adelaide Crows. Fremantle kicked the last 3 goals of the quarter after Adelaide had tied it away. And it was the captain, Matthew Pavlich, who stood tall, kicked 3 goals for the term, including the last 2. And with 1 quarter to play, the Dockers are on the verge of a major upset. They lead it here by 18 points, and it's been the straight kicking that's got them there. 16 goals, 2. They lead Adelaide 12 goals, 8. Stick around for what should be a thrilling final term coming up.
My wife actually told me one day, she says, if you spent so much time at Bunnings, why don't you go and get a job there? And guess what I did?
4-litre Dulux wash and wear, only $61.90. Heavy-duty multifold ladder, $149. Craft Tech Jumbo Toolbox, $69.94. Porcelain tiles, just $19.93 per square metre. If you happen to find a cheaper price on a stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%.
People will be very surprised at the range that we have.
Bunnings Warehouse! Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Mount Everest is the highest mountain on Earth, and the most deadly. Over 80% of people who attempt to climb Everest fail. Over 200 people have died trying. That is why it is so remarkable that Eric Weinmayer climbed Everest, because Eric is blind. At Challenger, we have the same kind of dedication to investing. Challenger. Investments, mortgages, possibilities.
Hey, what's up there? This is Nicky Hayden. I just won my first world championship and I was feeling pretty good until I got told this 600RR has won the last 5. Hey, what's up with that? I think Honda make the best bikes, and the new 600RR is the best of the best. If you want to feel what it's like to be me, a world champion, better get yourself a 600RR, the one to ride. Heck, I might even go scoop me one up.
Tonight live, Australia take on Japan in the quarterfinals of the Asian Cup. Can the Blue Samurai later rest the ghosts of the World Cup, or have the Aussies hit their stride? Australia-Japan for a place in the semis. Live tonight at 8, Fox Sports 2.
Sunday night, the Superbike World Championship from the Czech Republic, live on Fox Sports 3. The heat was on in Misano. The Tari Terriers' title hopes were on the line.
It's a big weekend for Bayliss.
To stay in touch, he needed his first double of the season.
Bayliss has got his head down and is going for it.
And that's exactly what he delivered. The Superbike World Championship from the Czech Republic, 7:30 Sunday night, live on Fox Sports 3.
Pavlich gets away from McGregor.
He's got the panic here.
Shirley trying to track him down. Pavlich goes long. Thornton.
What about kick?
Takes the mark, runs in and kicks the goal. Every Fremantle player is now in Adelaide's attacking half of the ground. So here's Perry taking the mark. Handball to McLeod, who unloads from 55. Got it straight, got it low. Oh, we've got a ball goal.
seesawing affair here from Amy Stadium, and it's Fremantle by 18 points with a quarter to play. 5 goals for Matthew Pavlich. Brett Burton has 4 to lead the Adelaide Crows. It's been a seesawing affair, and there are the numbers. We'll take a look at those, Leo.
Yeah, well, they are very heavily weighted, uncontested possessions in favour of Fremantle. But let's get down to Lee Colbert, who's got Adelaide assistant David Noble with him.
I have him here with David. David looked really good in passages, but just couldn't quite get the whole quarter sorted out.
We had a lot of probably chains of balls that we coughed up. We thought that some of our contested ball was really good, but then, you know, once you give Freo a look at it, they've been on song today, and they've kicked really straight.
And those late three goals were just frustrating, aren't they?
They are. I mean, we got ourselves right back into a good, even contest again. Unfortunately, some contested ball again, and that was the heavy focus from Neil for that quarter. And we just got to keep attacking.
All the very best for the last one.
Well, I tell you what, an animated Neil Craig there, Jacko.
Well, definitely, this season's on the line.
And that's exactly it in a nutshell. As you can see, Goodwin talking to his troops. Crucial time of the season for Adelaide. They need to really produce something in this last quarter, because at the moment, Fremantle are answering every challenge that they're being thrown at them.
Last time these sides met here, it was a qualifying final last year. Fremantle led at three-quarter time. Adelaide won the match. We are set for a thrilling finish. Matthew Carr farms out the long handball. McLeod wrestling with McManus and just hacked it out of mid-air. Mark taken by Peter Bell. Out on the lead, Pavlich taken under the ball, no whistle. Van Berlo with the support here of Matner. Gets onto his favoured left side. Trying to find his teammate leading the charge there, Stevens, but it's over the line.
Good pressure there by Roger Hayden. Just forced Matner to kick that ball wide, and Adelaide had a couple of numbers out here on this wing that would have retrieved the ball, but the ball went out of bounds. So it's a stoppage here that Fremantle get this first goal. Certainly going a long way in them winning this game.
And Pavlich gone back to Ken McGregor's now his opponent again, after kicking 3 on Bock in the third quarter.
Crowley, short pass. Hazelby. Now Matthew Carr. Lead coming from Hayden, has 2 to beat. Matner again there to clean up with the assistance of Tawney. Can use Richard Douglas, and does. Welsh out on a long lead, but Douglas is going to go beyond that. Burton is his target now, and he's kicked to a 2-on-1. Grover lost it, so did Thornton. Perry did well. Burton supplies the tackle against Grover. Here's Riley for Welsh, but it's Bell to Headland, and now Dodd. Fremantle away and running.
McManus.
Josh Carr looks for and finds McManus.
It's a good option by Josh Carr, because there was Adelaide defenders pushing back, so he had nothing long. And even though it's not an ideal spot to be having to kick a goal, it does 2 things. It makes McLeod a little bit more wary of his direct opponent in McManus, but also at least gives them a shot at goal, whereas a long kick would have given them a 3-on-1 to Adelaide.
McManus comes in, tight angle, and has missed to the near side.
Yeah, missed too. Kicked so straight today, 16 goals, 3. It's a very efficient forward 50 entry use, if you like.
Tyson Edwards in the back pocket. Out wide for Shirley. Leads on short. Massey one of them. Quick handball for Goodwin. Perry leading. Stevens coming out as well. Couldn't reel it in. Crowley caught high, will get the free kick.
Nothing much on here again for Freo. He'll have to go down the line.
Every player ahead of Crowley. Tarrant using the body and keeps it inside the line as well. Pass, though, left a little to be desired. Heath Black has to go back and retrieve it under pressure from Tawney. Solomon joining in for Fremantle. Here's John Cock. Couldn't escape the clutches, though, but now Tyson Edwards can.
Look at the run here.
Shirley
with the support of Hudson. Back to Johncock. Burton leads to the pocket. Johncock going long. Burton climbs at the back and brings the house down.
He's a star, this bloke. Absolute star. That was that early leap again, where just basically pure athleticism to be able to mark that ball. Most players would have tried to body then. Burton tried to jump. Well, he did. He just jumped over the top of his opponent.
Burton lines up from point-blank range, and he's missed it.
He's missed it. Wow. How crucial is that? I mean, he was in two minds where he was going to play on. He had a chance to play on, but this marks a fair mark. The only reason why, because Michael Johnson, he's got a very good aerial leap, and he leaps like similar to Brett Burton to get up early, but to take against a quality opponent, it was a good mark. But why, gee, didn't he have to just kick the goal?
Oh, shocking miss. 6'5", let's not forget Michael Johnson. Not jumping over an ant. He's jumping over a big man. But gee, that's a terrible miss. And it deflates a team too. When you trail by 3 goals, you've got your home team crowd, I suppose, on your back a little bit because you haven't been playing as well as you can.
He's been good, this kid.
Thornton bombs it long to the goal square. Massey caught out of position against Headland.
Right.
Hayes will be trying to keep it alive. Well, they'll have a boundary throw in.
This is what transpires. You miss a goal at that end, which is a certainty. It's a lay down was there, but now it's deep in Fremantle's forward line, and they've been very good at winning goals, kicking goals today at stoppages, and they've got a chance now. Could be a 12-point turnaround.
Hayes, there it is. Running onto the ball, Des Heslin.
He's missed it.
Can't convert, and that's a minor score for the Dockers.
Gee, they've given themselves every opportunity at stoppages today. Fremantle have been very good at stoppages inside their forward 50 to create goals and kick goals from the direct stoppage.
McLeod into the pocket to Matner. Uses the run of Goodwin. Up to the wing, looking for Van Berlo. Has Solomon to beat, and Solomon gives away the free kick.
And Lee Colbert down on the boundary line. How's the injuries looking?
Stephen Dodd's just come off the ground, gone up the race, got a suspected broken right collarbone. You know all about them pickers.
Oh, no, they're painful. Bad news too, because he's been a really good player for Fremantle.
Chance for Adelaide. Edwards back to Tawney, who unloads from 60, going deep. It's got the carry. Adelaide undone with just yet.
Great goal. Tawney, fantastic. He's had the job on Headland this afternoon. He's kept Headland under control, reasonably under control. Just 10 possessions, Des Headland, but much needed goal especially after the Burton miss. But Chainer, this is when Adelaide play their best footy. He's kicked a torpedo on the run, which, well, for people who don't know, that's about as hard a kick as there is. There's not too many who've been able to do that. But such an important goal. Gee, they'll miss Dodd, Fremantle with that injury.
Only the 3rd goal of the year for Jason Tawney. His first in a month, but it keeps Adelaide's flickering hopes alive. 13-point ball game. And the miss from Burton amplified now.
Bright in that box.
7 minutes played in the final term. Umpire Stefan Grun with a sense of occasion. Building the drama. Bounce favours Gilmore. Couldn't do a lot with it, though. And now we have a stalemate.
Lee Colbert, we might need you for the last 20 minutes up here, mate.
Yeah, no worries. I'm not bad at the horse races. I don't know about the footy.
This is Dowdy in space. Just hoists the ball long, looking for a mark from Perry, who got to the front. Heath Black grabs the crumbs. Handball for Gilmore has been good. Retreating away from Edwards, though, looking for some help, provided by Johnson. He gets the kick clear.
The space he's got here.
Hazelby inside.
Josh Carr finds Hazelby.
Play on.
Should.
He's a good goal kicker.
From 45, Hazelby salutes it as soon as it came off the boot.
Well, just allowed to have the space out there. I mean, that was just, I mean, they had to be accountable there, Adelaide. Josh Carr, sorry, was able to just find himself out of that outer wing, but spotted up Paul Hazeby, who now has 3 goals himself. I mean, he's been amongst it. Good goal kicker, and he knew straight away off the kick that he had kicked that. So restores that 18-point lead.
Well, coming into this match, Paul Hazeby kicked 4 goals for the season. He's now equalled his career best at 3 in a match that he scored against the Western Bulldogs, round 15, 2005. And Mark Harvey, in his first day as a senior coach, can sniff an upset here. 19 points the margin. We played more than 9 minutes in the final term. Tyson Edwards dragged to the ground by Heath Black, and a strong tackle goes again.
Good wow.
Dowdy drives Adelaide forward. Coming out, Burton. McFarlane over the top. Here's Mundy needing help. Burton barreled into the ground.
Tackling. Fremantle take a bow. You're tackling, and started with Heath Black. His commitment and Solomon now in this outer wing. But McFarlane, he's noted for that. Nice to have a start, but good tackling, good follow-up by Fremantle.
Hazelby kicked the last goal, now in the back pocket. Headland with a touch of magic.
Duffield here on the wing by himself.
Headland loses him.
Centre clearance has become really important. It's an area that Adelaide have actually dominated this afternoon. Not dominated, but they've actually taken the points.
They're going to man up this guy here, Josh Carr. They're going to man him up.
Duffield gets the lead and honours Pavlich.
Tarrant. He will be on Tarrant if he turns and goes to the hole.
Shorter. Here is Duffield.
Go back, that's it. Message there for Matthew Pavlich. Just hold it up. Well, no one's going to man up. If you're not going to man up, this is what Adelaide are going to do now. They're going to man up. But look, they're going to find players loose because now they're going to go for it. With only 12 minutes left in the game, they've got to try and create and run forward and get that hard offensive run. But Fremantle, smart play, maintain possession of the ball, find the right option. That's why they've had so many more uncontested possessions, because they've denied Adelaide possession of the footy.
It's such an opportunity here for Adelaide.
Hayden kicked the second goal of the match. He's never kicked 2 in a game before, Roger Hayden. Looks a little nervous coming in. Slices it across the face. It's a minor score.
There's just so much at stake for the Crows. With results the way they're going, if they can win this, they're right back into the calculations to finish in the top 8. If they lose this, they've just passed an opportunity. Now, Fremantle have played very well this afternoon, but it's a bit about what Adelaide are about in the last 12 minutes of this match.
Shirley in traffic. Riley. It was a throw. Free kick Fremantle's way.
And that's because of the pressure of Fremantle. They're just into hunting in packs and 3s and 4s. Just tackling it at will. And this is a play that has been question about them during the year, but they've certainly brought their game today.
Marcus Drum fires from 52, and that might be the ball game.
He's certainly going to make it difficult. Now, on that last goal, the Adelaide players all pushed back, but they pushed back to a zone area. No one actually went to a player there, which was Drum, unchecked basically. So if you look when this ball goes up, see all the Adelaide numbers there. Pretty hard to tell if that was a shot, but there were 4 or 5 players guarding space, but he's got it on 50. That's kickable. And as he's proven, that's his 3rd goal. Been a good young player today. Marcus Drum, well, he is a good young player, and he's been a fine player this afternoon.
Well, some of the fans have had enough. They're leaving here because Fremantle have the biggest lead of the match so far. It's a 26-point margin. 12 and a half minutes have been played here. Marcus Drum, his first game of the year, had 1 goal in his career coming into this match and 3 this afternoon. Riley looking for the lead of Johncock, who takes it centimetres above the floor.
Gee, haven't they left the crowd? I mean, there's 11 and a half minutes left of footy, and they're having a shot on goal, so they don't hang around too quickly, William. Here,
right. You got to get out of that traffic, unless you're going to have a barbecue out in the car park. But Johncock kicks this. It goes back to the Burton miss. Becomes so crucial when Fremantle kicked the last 2. Needs to kick this goal for the Crows to have some chance.
Hasn't kicked a goal since round 11, but makes no mistake. He keeps Adelaide alive.
Have you found that battle this afternoon, Jacko? John Cock and Hayden have been going at it all day.
They have been. I mean, two great players, very good players, and as you mentioned, Roger Hayden in line for all Australian selections out of that back pocket. But I mean, hasn't been amongst it today, the possessions, but he's had a lot of teammates that have been contributors. So, and he's done a fair job. They've played on each other. No real players set great heights today, but important goal. And now they've got to go for it, Adelaide.
2 goals apiece in this final term. Fremantle started the fourth quarter leading by 18. The margin is 20. Warnock gets the tap to Duffield. Headland dispossessed. Here's Thornton looking out wide for Crowley. Has Mundy in support. And now McManus.
Right, well, Warnock there. Warnock's on this side of the ground. He can push if he's half smart here. He can push forward and be an option here.
Headland the target. Shirley did an excellent job running back with the flight of the ball to Bock, and now Massey. McLeod.
Better run.
To Bock. Adelaide building. Bock kicked it into Mundy. Crowley. Strong. Now it's Peter Bell. Back to Crowley. His run on. Pavlich caught under the ball. Excellent grab from Jason Tawney.
That was like in the backyard when you get mate to stand in front of you and take the mark. Really important rebound here now for the Crows. They want to try and get it into the corridor as much as possible. Not sure Fremantle will allow them the corridor.
Well, they won't, because Massey's playing a spare man in defence for the Crows, and look at the wall of Fremantle players here. They've got 2 or 3 players that are not manned up. And that's why they go to this sideways play. No direct play going forward. Here we go. 2 on 1.
Loose ball though, and running through Martin Matner. Driving Adelaide long. Burton caught out of position. Manhandled out of the equation, but the mark has been taken by Grover.
As good as Brett Burton is, he's not good enough to be able to take marks when the ball comes in like that inside 50.
Peter Bell.
He milked it for all it was worth, by the way.
Tawney with a spoil again. Johnson comes across. Bell shut down by McLeod. That's a throw. Told to play on. Fans don't like it. Here's Headland getting it from Johnson and looking to steady. Less than 9 minutes to play.
This is when you need your running ability. This is when a pre-season comes in, when you're 20 points down in a crucial game.
Pavlich on the lead, takes the mark.
But not only that, Liam, correct decision-making. Under extreme pressure, you know the opposition are going to throw the kitchen sick at you here now. Don't be forcing rash decisions where you're going to turn the ball over or kick to a 2-on-1 or 3-on-2 situation. Maintain possession of the football.
Well, you've got to have the ability to run both ways, especially late in the game. Perry coming off the ground, replaced by Welsh. That would be that kick that he did in the middle of the ground, you'd think. A square-up kick. Now, champions...
Yep, coming in for 6 straight here.
Kick these goals.
From 55, Pavlich unloads, but has missed to the near side.
Still is a champion.
Well, I'm not saying he's not, but perfect stage there to bang one from 55. Not an easy kick, obviously, but he's had a terrific afternoon. 5 goals. Beaten 2 opponents. Pavlich.
Adelaide running out of time. There's Bock.
Sounds your voice, Case.
May not last the distance. Goodwin. Again to an open forward line. Burton leads the charge. Clean bowl.
Douglas needs to be good here. Well done, Roger. Well done, Douglas. A throw. Wow, wow, wow. A throw. That is a big, big call.
You've got to take possession of it, don't you?
Well,
on this thing, it looked like he just won the footy, but it was just spilt out by the contest.
But let's have a look at this again. It's a fantastic effort by... great decision. We had the back view, but he needs to kick this, and this should give Adelaide a lift if he's good enough to kick this goal, Richard Douglas.
Hasn't kicked a goal since round 8. Richard Douglas comes in, makes no mistake. It's a 15-point ball game.
If you're back in the car park, come back in. This game's far from over. 7 minutes to go. put the barbecue out, come back inside, because if you've got young players that are prepared to do that, means you're still in a game of footy, Jacko.
Yeah. I mean, it was a throw, but look, Adelaide need back-to-back goals here. They certainly do need back-to-back goals. Win first possession of it and move it forward. But the decision-making going forward is going to be critical whether they're going to get up and win this game.
Richard Douglas gets Adelaide back into the equation. 7 minutes remain. 15 points the margin.
Centre clearance crucial here. Absolutely crucial.
Bamberlo to Thompson. Was cool in the crisis. Now he's got problems. He's shut down. Bell to Headland. Fremantle attack again. Headland hits the target. It's Marcus Drum.
Well, he had to be strong there, and he certainly was. Matthew Pavlich had made the lead, but Des Headland has got good vision when he goes into the forward line, and honoured a good lead there by Marcus Drum, who's certainly had a contribution today. He's been lively up forward, presented as an option, and himself now a couple of goals. So coming in for goal number 4.
Haven't seen him since round 17 last year, but Marcus Drum has come up trumps here for the Fremantle Dockers. And they extend the lead once more.
Well, can't ask for much more. First game for the year.
But 9 goals from your 2 key forwards.
Look at this.
Pavlich 5 and 4 from him.
Jacko, they did everything but clear it. We talked about the importance. Thompson, great pressure, Gilmore. And this is why you say that how important centre clearances are. 1 kick, 1 mark, 1 goal. Basically end of match. So if you're on your way back from the car park, go back.
There's a few joining him now, Biggers.
Well, Marcus Drum has kicked the last 2 goals for Fremantle. They lead by 21 points, and we're into time on in the last quarter. And this amazing sequence where first-game coaches somehow come up with a win. We saw it with Mark Riley at Melbourne. We saw it with Brad Fittler in the NRL last week. We've seen it with Paul Roos and with Neil Craig here in Adelaide. And Mark Harvey looks headed into that category as well.
Well, the thing is that there's plenty of talent on the ground for Fremantle, but there has been all year. That's been the disappointing thing. You know, side that we're widely regarded as being a top 4 side. We all tipped into them, and they've disappointed their old coach to date. But let's hope for Fremantle fans at home that this is the start of the new Dockers. Their commitment today is, you couldn't question their commitment. It's been outstanding.
Riley.
Look at that again. Look at the commitment again. Solomon, Mundy. That's been the common theme all day, Jacko. It's been the way that when the ball's in dispute, they've hunted in packs. They put their nose over it when they needed to.
Well, they've been good. They're a very good uncontested possession-winning side, but they've been a very good side today, winning the contested possession, and that's been the difference. They've served it up to Adelaide, and every time Adelaide have thrown a challenge to them, they've responded and gone on. They're going to enjoy this win. The one beckons the question, why wait till round 16 to have that commitment, you know, because maybe this will sting them in. There's still mathematically an equation to get into the 8. But
yeah, mathematically, I don't, yeah.
Well, they go home next week to Geelong. I mean, that's a possibility with this form. Geelong, I mean, as good a form they're going, I'm not there to tip against them, but they're every chance to beat them at Fremantle, at Subiaco Oval. So
well, they are.
And then they've got the Derby, and that might get them into a sequence, and they come home with a flurry, because it's still open in that bottom 8 or 10 sides that are vying for those 2 spots.
Well, you reckon that would be an indictment on their footy club if they can win their last 7, as much as I'm sure their fans would still love to see it.
They did it last year. They won 9 straight.
Yeah, they're playing a bit better than they have been in recent weeks.
Well, this is the footy they played last year, and they've brought their A game. We were talking about it. Could they bring their A game? And they've brought it today.
Well, they haven't had a bad play, really.
No, they haven't. Well, I mean, Tarrant's been a little bit down, but, I mean, he's been a contributor. Roger Hayden. Apart from those 2, every other player's had 10 or more possessions. Now, that's a lot of football, but they've had a number of goal kickers, and that is an indication they've been willing to work for each other. When you're working for each other, you win more of your contested possessions. And Fremantle, I mean, the Fremantle supporters back in Perth, they'll be just scratching their heads thinking, why do we have to wait till round 16 for this to happen?
They're probably actually thinking at home, don't go counting your chickens yet, you boys. There's still 4 minutes to go, but look at this. It's getting a bit easy now. It's getting a bit easy now.
And there he is, 300 game, that kicks a goal.
Icing on the cake for Peter Bell, and the Fremantle Dockers are home.
Sorry, Case, we're just trying to rest your weary voice.
Boys, just Heath Black's actually coming from the ground. He suffered a knock to his left hip. Just been sensational in this quarter. Wouldn't come off for 5 minutes then, but just wants to stay out there, but eventually succumb and come off the ground. So, been a great game for him.
He has had a great game. He's had it 29 times and used it well nearly every time. Adelaide have got to be careful here. Percentage all important in a close finish for the finals.
Well, 10 goal scorers for Fremantle, and they've certainly shared the workload amongst their teammates today, and they're going to enjoy this victory. Well done, Mark Harvey, on your first game as senior coach.
Here's good one for Adelaide. 55 metres out, bringing it back. Not far enough. It's a minor score.
I mentioned percentage. Now, coming into this game, Adelaide's percentage in a real, it's logjam. We know that around the 8th position. They're 113.9, which is pretty good. So they won't want to be in a situation where they allow Fremantle to kick another 2 or 3 goals and just give their percentage a bit of a hammering, because it's going to be really tight come the last game. And you'd reckon Adelaide will still be right in the mix. With the Bombers going down today, that makes it very difficult for them. They've got a poor percentage as well, only 97 before today. Great effort by Fremantle this afternoon to come over here and to do this.
And also, I mean, Adelaide, they'll be disappointed, but at times played some good football. But at other times weren't allowed to play good football because of the, I guess, ferociousness of Fremantle's attack on the football. Their intent from word go was a statement. Is that a Mark Harvey statement? They kept it pretty simple. Play the footy, first in, and they were very disciplined. There was no, this off-the-ball stuff trying to, insert a bit of aggression. They inserted the aggression at the football, and that's why they won this game of football. So for Fremantle supporters and for themselves, they can finish off the year, and silly as it may sound, they can still have a bearing on the season, what happens for their own football season, as well as the clubs that are just above it.
You talk about Mark Harvey, and coaches, they always call, in the majority of the times they coach a bit how they played. And you would expect this sort of effort with Harvey. I mean, he was a fantastic player, a real competitor. But, as I say, it's been missing, it's been lacking for a number of weeks. So it's been a bit of an indictment on the group. It's so talented. This guy's been terrific this afternoon. Really liked his game. At times, he's done some big work. Under real pressure, his work, his ground balls have been fantastic. His work below his knees this afternoon. Been great.
Massey off to McLeod. Disposal was poor. Hudson. Now Johncock in traffic. Dockers with Peter Bell. Headland dispossessed. Riley with a loose ball. Drives Adelaide long, looking for Perry. Burton leads to the pocket. Perry goes to him now.
He's able to find space, Brett Burton. The way he didn't have a lot to do there, a lot to work with, and I mean, he's on a play that's very quick off the mark, and Luke McFarlane, but just his ability to lead, turn, back lead, and that's what he basically did. As you see, a frustrated Luke McFarlane felt that he'd cover all exits there, but unfortunately, Brett Burton played a lone soldier down there. He's contributed to his side, but you look at the other end, Marcus Drum kicks 4, Pavlich kicks 5 and hands out a couple. You need contributors, you need other players helping out as well. It's another miss. One would say when he missed that earlier one in that first part of that quarter, for the last quarter, when he really needed to mark that, really needed to cap it off and kick the goal. Fremantle go down on the other end and kick back-to-back goals, and that's where it basically killed the game.
Yeah, it did. There's no doubt about that. They're all starting to rack up the numbers now in this last quarter. Here's Johnson again. Sorry, John, just trying to give you a bit of a spell with your throat. I know you've been battling the Savo manfully. Tarrant. He's been probably well held this afternoon. Tarrant hasn't been a major contributor, neither's Headland, which is a good sign, really.
Yeah, it is. It certainly is. Two major players who've been in relatively good form in recent weeks, especially Desi's. He's been amongst the goals. But like I mentioned before, they've only had 2 players. Chris Tarrant's had 9, but 2 players under 10 possessions. And that's what you want, a team like this. You know, when they haven't won those games when they've been in it, it's because it's only been left to Peter Bell, you know, Carr brothers, and maybe Matthew Pavlich, and that's it.
Listen to the roar of the Fremantle boys on the ground will be enormous here. It's a big win, massive win for Fremantle.
Huge.
To come across here, Mark Harvey would be the happiest man in Western Australia when he gets back home. He'll be fated a hero, and a 26-point result is a magnificent effort by Fremantle. Pavlich, the star up forward with 5 goals.